on the video said like, oh, 80,000, and I think that's pretty reasonable. That's not a lot of money. We live on Long Island. Like $80,000 is not a lot. So I think to have that standard and say, well, let's say she made 60 or 65, 70, and he makes that. What's wrong with that? Like we shouldn't we both? Don't you think relationships would be better if people had those conversations ahead of time? Like, what is your credit score? How much do you make? What is like? We need to know what we're building here. I don't want to find out in the middle of it that your credit score is a 400 and you get paid $600 every 2 weeks. So what are we really building here? Is that
I agree with you. I think, but that, like we say, people rush to the bedroom. Like they don't rush to get to know each other. They rush to the bedroom.
Right.
They skip the whole getting to know you stage to getting sexual with you stage. They like literally go from A to Z. They don't go B, C, D, E, F, G. They move so fast, and then complain about the people that they've gotten intimate with. I'm like, but again, if you were to slow down, you could have learned this person a little faster, right? But I do believe that those conversations should be had before moving into certain spaces. Because reality is, if I'm talking to a person, I would like to know their credit score.
Right.
And I'm not saying it from a male or a female thing. I think it's just as an adult thing.
Right.
And I do believe that after certain ages, we should have certain things accomplished, right? You should have a driver's license, right? You should have a passport, right? You should have a steady source of income, right? You shouldn't be trying to figure it out after a certain age. I can understand if you're figuring out how to advance,
Right. Right.
but you should still have a stable income while pursuing advancing,
Right.
right? But again, you shouldn't be like, I have absolutely nothing going on, and then you're considerably an adult. An adult is one who can take care of himself. The only thing I will say I have a problem when I hear people constantly gloat about them being adults. It's scary when I hear a male or a female say something like, well, I could pay my own bills. I'm like, you're supposed to be able to. You're grown. Right? You're mad grown.
You want to be rewarded for that. But
Yes.
I agree. I think if you're dating with intentions, if you're someone, we have to figure out, what side of the fence we're on. If you're dating to just date and you don't really care what this person makes because you're not trying to build, but after a certain age, I think we're dating with intentions. And I think those are very important conversations to have because, like you said, a lot of times finances can really ruin a relationship. And I don't know if it's necessarily, oh, he can't provide for me. It's
Yes.
just like, people show up with their representative. And if
Yes.
you telling somebody, I had a cousin actually that she was dating my friend and she made him believe that, she had this going and that going. So he ended up getting an apartment and saying, okay, well, if you're making this and I'm making this, we can make it work.
We're good.
But she wasn't making that. And he was so upset because it was like, well, why did you tell me that? Then had you kept it real with me, I wouldn't have gotten this place because then I would know I can afford it by myself. And I was so mad at her, like, she's like, oh, what's the big deal? I'm like, the big deal is he made a commitment and you can't follow through on your end, you know what I mean? On your
100%.
part of the deal. So I
100%.
do believe that you got to take the time and really get to know people because people out here faking it. People lie.
So someone said living outside your means ruin relationships. I
Yeah.
think that is a truth statement, but I do believe that most relationships fail because of the lack of understanding of finances. I think that people are trying to live lifestyles based on the perception they want social media to believe they're living.
Yeah.
For instance, like I'll meet someone right now who could work at, let's just say hypothetically, let's give me a profession. Give me, let's say, an accountant. And, I don't want to, so now you say, they say she's an accountant. Yeah, okay, he's a cop. Okay, they clearly bringing him out 200,000 in, right? Right, but now you're sitting here saying, we make 200, but yet and still we want to live the lifestyle of 750,000.
Right.
And this is why you see right now we have the highest level of debt as far as credit card usage in the history of the U.S. because more people are utilizing other people's money to live a lifestyle that they personally can't afford. So reality is you're looking like you aesthetically at a certain pinnacle, but in reality you aren't because you're codependent on someone else's money to make you advance. So you're borrowing, robbing Peter to pay Paul in a sense.
I agree with you, but I think a lot of people just can't afford to live too. It's expensive, Again, we live on Long Island, so if you're calculating, from what I'm hearing now, one bedroom apartments are over $2,000. Like 10, 15 years ago, you may have been able to get a one bedroom, 1,200, 1,500. Imagine a family that, you have a house, your mortgage, let's say is 4,000 and change, all your utilities, your phone bill, your car insurance, your car note if you have one, groceries. So I think, yeah, you can factor in the people that are living outside of their means, but I think the reality is a lot of people are really robbing Peter to pay Paul when it comes to bills. It's
Agreed.
hard.
But
It's very hard out
black
here.
people didn't get the memo that it takes two to survive. I think black people missed that whole class, that whole session. They missed it because reality is all we scream is how we don't need each other, but then most people who don't have anyone cry about struggling extremely. And the reality is because the goal is to find a partner so you can build a safety or a comfort. And I'm not saying you're depending on each other, but in reality is God created man and woman for us to come together so we can build a life. But when you look at most people, they look at it like, yo, all these bills are kicking my behind. I can pay it by myself, but every time you turn around, you're complaining about paying it for yourself. So reality is you're not happy doing it. So you're giving yourself a false sense of security because it's not really how you feel. Most people are in miserable situations paying total bills by themselves because that's a harsh reality that might be that person's death sentence, that they have to do that for eternity. And then I'm like, damn, you weren't mature enough to say, okay, I need to find someone who I can build a life with so I can make my life and that person's life easier. That's what the whole goal of a relationship is to do.
But I think sometimes people struggle together too.
They
There are
struggle together.
situations where I see a lot of, you have a lot of people that even, so I think once you, like I said, you factor in even having kids, like things start to get expensive. And, sometimes it's a lot of people that are barely making it when it's all said and done, and they don't take vacations and they're not living above their means. They're really just making ends meet and trying to just figure it out. And they end up having to max out credit cards and, just people dipping in their 401ks. That's
100%.
another statistics that show that there are so many people, like borrowing from their retirement because it's just hard,
So
It's
watch
really
this question.
hard.
In most cases, who do you think, the male or the female, who wants to go shopping more, male or female?
I would say mostly women. We're
Okay.
the shoppers.
Who do you think want to eat out more, male or females? Who want to go out to eat?
Okay, females.
Who do you think wants more weddings, male or females?
Okay, females.
What I'm getting at is more women are so materialistic to the point that they actually drive a lot of couples into financial burdens. If you look at it, black women have the highest debt in the country, whether student loans and credit card debts in America. They have the highest because a lot of them are very materialistic. I'm just being fair and honest. I'm not dissing women. I'm just stating a fact. Statistically, you can Google it. They live very, very materialistic. And a lot of times, I genuinely believe that they're in competition with each other to look like they're in better positions than they actually are. Because she more so cares about what another woman sees her opposed to what she has in the house. More so, people go outside and care about what outside view them as more than what their house. I care about how my family view me more than outside.
Yeah, but I think your average working class people, though, they're not chasing that. I don't know a lot of couples that are married or together that are, you have the women that are like, we have to go out to eat, we need to go shopping. I think that, it's just, I'm being honest. I don't think you have a lot of, that's a delusion where not every woman is.
I think
like
you're speaking for
that.
yourself. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I don't
I
think
think
there
most
are
cases, men will live very simple shit. I'm just being fair.
Yeah.
Men will live
No, I'm
very,
not
very
saying
simple.
all women. I'm
no,
sure
I'm saying
there are.
most men will live very simple. Very, very, very simple. Right? Most women do not want to live simple. They want to compete with the fact of other women. They care about women's approval so much that they do things that actually hurt them financially. For instance, I will see a woman literally buy a pair of shoes that she knows she's going to feel financial burdens and hardship for weeks to come because of a decision of today.
Right.
But yet and still, she only cares about that vacation in the moment. It's weird when you see that someone that's willing to travel, and it's proven that a woman will go out to a whole bar and a club with no money and literally try to leech you off of being there. And I'm like, why are you even outside? That's a safety hazard. You outside with no money and you outside, you on a vacation. There was a video that went viral of two friends. They went to Jamaica and then they found out the storm was coming. So one of the friends said, you know what, let's get out of here because the flights was $800. One of the friends couldn't afford to get the flight. Right. She just barely came with enough just to be there. Right. And I'm like, this is a sick mentality where it's like, yo, because in her mind, she probably like, I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna do it for me, that's gonna pay my way. And there are women that genuinely go out and expect men that they just met to pay for these things. And I'm like, so why would you be mad that he has expectations on sexing you up when you have expectations on taking money from a person that you don't even know?
women that are
You
like
know?
that. That's sad, but I mean, we can't just talk about those women. Let's talk about the women that are not doing that. A lot of women go out. We have money in our pockets. We pay for our own drinks. We don't care. There are a lot of women that'll turn down. I'm good. There are a lot of women that'll buy men drinks. Like, you know
Agreed.
what? You buy me something. You know, I'll pay for
No,
his next round. So
there's
it's
a few,
not
there's a
just.
few.
There's a few.
Shit, there's a few. You might do it. I think you would, but I don't think most women would do that. Most women have very high expectations. I'm being fair. When I talk like this to you, it seems like I'm going at women. I just tell the truth. Most women, remember, I own a club. I see it with my own lens. It's disgusting. Like the way they believe entitled. When they sit at a bar, some of them to even get a conversation out of them. You feel like you buy me a drink?
Right.
I've never heard a man say, "You want to talk to me? You gotta buy me a drink." She'll tell me you entitled without saying you entitled.
Right.
Like all the man was saying was high, and you was like, "Don't a drink come with that high?" It's like it's kind of scary. Like that you believe, and then you wonder why this man feels he has a sense of entitlement to you because you feel like you have a sense of entitlement to his resources. So of course he gonna feel like he's entitled. You feel like you're entitled to his resources. He feel like he's entitled to your vagina. It's just what it is. I would never raise my daughter to think that that's normal, because again, it shouldn't be a thought that you are expecting this man to do just because he spoke to you. It's kind of scary, but again, that's the world we live in today. And if we don't tell the truth, we tend to actually put these people on a pedestal. And I'm gonna say this next thing. I think honestly, the issue is music and social media plays such a major part on the development of the nuance of women that most of these women honestly think like prostitutes. Their mentality is prostitutional. It's more so, what does a prostitute talk to a man for? To get his resources. What does most of these women nowadays talk to men for? To get their resources. So the reality is she's looking to get something just for a conversation without even giving anything in return, right? This is why, is because they're learning from 8-figure, 6-figure, that's my type. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like
spin that.
I
You
agree.
know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, but I also feel like you have a lot of men, like I said, for women to have that expectations, there are men out there that are spending like that. So I think we have to figure out what to do to change it. So then if you're having a conversation with somebody, you know what? You're not entitled to buying her a drink. So listen, I was just saying hi to you. Just wanted, your outfit looks nice, nothing, no more, no less. Stop setting, men will set those bars, and then when women start acting like that, and I'm not saying it's right, guys, now they want to act surprised. If you out here just buying rounds of drinks and she feel like, well, the last two dudes did it, now she won't talk to you because she feel like she's entitled to that. Now that doesn't make her right, that's wrong, but then stop doing that. Have conversation, get to know people. Let's know, I'm not buying you, I don't know you, I was just saying hi to you.
But you realize, like, I do agree. Somebody said both sides, but I don't believe that most men go out looking for a woman to pay for things for them. I don't think most men definitely don't think
I
like
agree.
that. I think
agree.
there are men that do think like that because they have more femininity aspects than masculinity aspects. They're more feminine, right? But I've never seen too many men, like real men, sit there with high expectations financially on a woman. I do believe that they want women that can carry their own water and can fetch her own water, and God forbid something happened to them, we know that she can hold it down, right? Which is a fair trade if I've been carrying you for 10 years.
Right.
So hypothetically speaking, I lose my job, my financial situation changes, I would expect you to definitely be committed to me because of the fact that I was committed to you when you didn't have anything for yourself. So I would assume that, right? But a lot of times I do believe that most men, their level of respect comes with their level of how deep their pockets are. And I've seen that over time. The level of respect that comes from women comes to how deep their pockets are. A man becomes more attractive because of his finances. A man becomes iller because he drives a nicer car. A man becomes, and that's visually to a woman. She sees him as superior because of his financial status. The other day we was having a conversation and the lady said, she said, I asked her how many women, if 10 in a room, how many of them would want to date an NBA player? She said probably 10 of them. I said, just so you know, that's most of the world, right? I said, out of the world, most women would want a high earner like an NBA player. But here's the issue, it's only like 450 total NBA players.
Right.
So that means there's going to be a lot of women in line for the same group of men because there's not enough men that even make those kind of economics. And there are not even a lot of women who are worthy of getting those men that make those kind of economics. There's very select few women that were able to even get a guy like that. But a lot of them watch social media. They're like, okay, she got it because she wears, let me guess, the wig, the makeup, all of these things. She's getting it because of the look. So guess what? I'm trying to look like her. And that's how women operate. I'm just being fair. Most women look, when we grew up, I'm going to be fair, wigs was considerably like an old woman thing. It was like an old woman thing. And you know, you're my age. It was like old women. Now, it's like they put it on and they become a new character. I'm like, yo, you're a new character because of a wig? A wig shouldn't make or break you. Makeup shouldn't make or break you. A man should be comfortable whether he's secure financially or he's working on himself. I think that's what social media did. It put a big mirror in people's face that they scared to be themselves. So they put on images of people. Yo, you can have a girl who could be a McDonald's employee today, and the night you see her, she act like she the richest girl on earth. And she wants you to ride her in the back of a Benz. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? It's like you're a Timu girl. It's okay.
And I'm just asking you, for the men on the live and for you guys here, do you think a lot of women feel like that's what you guys want? That's what a lot of men are attracted to? Because a lot of times I've heard some women say, you know, she can't find a man, or the famous Kevin Samuels, how he would tear some women down to think that, listen, yes, when you're telling a woman, no one's going to judge themselves and tell themselves they're a two. Like, no one's going to say that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're the prettiest, for every pretty girl, there's a prettier. For every sexy girl,
you know, there is a level of
listen
delusion
to
sometimes.
what I'm saying to you, when you, for a woman, when you look at a woman, oh, you're a 5 at best. What you think? You have some women out here who really feel like, yo, I can't get some, this is what they like. Men like women who look like this. They got to have this body. They got to this. And some men, you guys say that. I like a woman with a nice or this, that. So do you think a lot of women are going out there trying to really get that look, to really appease men?
That's the same reason why men look like they have money, because this is the same thing.
I'm asking
No, but I'm saying, yes,
answer the question.
Yeah, I think, but that's why both parties are doing it.
Right.
Because the men are doing it because they know they won't get attention. And the only way I'm going to get respect from you is by having my finances. And it's kind of sad that most women respect men based on their earning. In the same breath, most men sleep with women that look like that. Most men don't marry that. Most men marry average women. Go look it up. If you ask most married men, is your wife the best looking woman you ever been intimate with, he's going to say no. But his wife will more than likely be the best overall woman he's ever had. Because if a guy is marrying looks, that means he's a fool. Because looks fade as fast as they got there. Right? After you sleep with a beautiful woman a few times and she has a nasty mouth, her looks just diminish tenfold. You got people that lay in bed with people that are attractive. They don't even want to touch them because of the fact of how they behave and how they operate and how they conduct themselves. They're a beautiful, ugly person. Right? Outside don't always reflect the inside. Right? So again, when we talk about couples or finances, it's the money is literally the reason why most people cannot grow a life. Because again, I have to always have it together. And 9 out of 10 people, when you listen to them, they gloat and brag, but most people financial earnings is codependent on the fact that the job allowed them to stay there. So therefore, someone always has your life in their hands. So if you go to work tomorrow and your job just decide to let you go, you could be poor. Right? And most Americans in that situation, same scenario. Right? Go ahead, Tyler.
All right, so I got some scenarios, a new segment. So I'm going to ask this question. So here's a scenario. A person, they get a promotion, starts making more money, and suddenly they feel they can do better than their current partner. Has financial success made loyalty disposable in these times?
Who do you normally think do that?
I honestly think men do that more. I do. I had this discussion with you guys before. I feel like sometimes a woman could build a man up, right? Can we hit it from every angle, guys? Follow me. A woman could help build a man up, right? A lot of times, certain men, not all, they get to a level of success or they earn level of stardom, these celebrities and stuff, they're not attracted to that woman no more. They don't want her no more. She's now an average woman. Now they want the baddie. Now they want the trophy. Now they want the this. You see that a lot.
Can I say something?
You see that a lot.
Most black men are married to black women, right? Most black millionaires, by like 90%, are married to black women. 80% or something like that, right? Most black men that are rich or successful definitely marry their own. They usually marry the woman that was with them on their way up, right? Being fair and honest, when a woman supersedes a man financially, he becomes very disposable. Why do you think most men go so hard to try to keep their finances in order? Because my respect is codependent on my economics. And I'm sorry to tell the truth, I do believe there are bozo men who start making more money and flip out on their women. But I genuinely believe most men, when they start making more money, they give their family better lives.
Couples out here though where the women make more and they respect their men just as much. So I don't think that's for all. I think you have a lot of women that are in positions where they make more
And they don't respect their men.
I don't
I'm
think
telling
that's
you.
all women, Q.
I think you would.
I don't.
I
but
think not,
take me out of it. I don't
8
think
out of
that's
10
all
won't.
women that if they make
8
more
out of 10
money,
won't, Shay.
now they're gonna disrespect their man because they make more money.
Shit, one of the things I did in my life for a very long time, since I was 17, I've been a barber, right?
Okay.
Since I was 17, I've owned my barbershop since I was 22 years old. And I've got to talk, I would say bartenders, beauty stylists, barbers, and therapists speak to people in their rawest forms. Their rawest forms. And I'll be honest with you, what I've learned from being a barber all them years is the realities of how men and women operate a lot and the way they think. And when you listen to it, it's scary how so many men are very scared to lose their economics because they realize that if I do, I'm not going to get the same level of respect here. And a lot of times why the man will hold the money over her is because that's the only way she respects him. So if a man is holding $1 over your head, it's because he know that's the only way you're going to view him as a man. So I can understand both aspects. I understand why a woman, she overvalues money. Women will trade their respect for economics. A man in most cases won't. And if a man would trade his respect for economics, you know why he's doing it? He's doing it for his family. If a man will literally go to a job and get insulted and disrespected every day, it's because of his family. I promise you he's willing to do that for his family. I promise you. He'll bite his tongue. He'll stand back, stand down like, you know what? My family's more important. Sometimes when you see a tough man walk away, he could do something crazy, but he's thinking about his family, right? But I will say a lot of times it's proven that women will trade their family for their own happiness. And I hate to say it, but it's true. I've seen it on numerous occasions, even on the reasoning for divorce. Y'all file for divorce at an alarming rate. They say, oh, because women are unhappy. I'm like, of course, because everything is about you and your own happiness.
Do you feel like a lot of men in today's society are intimidated by strong, independent, successful women? And for women who make money, it intimidates the man and it kind of develops an insecurity in him. Whether you're with the woman or not, or just men in general. Do you think that's a thing that we're seeing lately, where
Yes.
a lot of men are just feeling like, you know?
Yes, a lot of us come from, if we come from a single mother, right? My mother always made it prominent about financial conversations as far as she got to spend on this and she got to spend on that, she got to spend on this. So you've heard along for your whole journey, your mom always complained about money. You've heard it your whole life. And most guys that's on my live right now, if y'all come from single mothers or even mothers, y'all heard your mothers always complain about money. So it automatically triggered, right, that, yo, I have to be mindful of this because, again, my mother always said to me, if you don't like it, you can get out, right? If your mother will throw you out, what makes you think a woman won't throw you out, right? This is the woman you come from. I'm just saying, in anger, things waver if there's not, there has to be some level of security that you have overhead that make her think consciously.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the question that I asked you before? I'm asking you about men feeling
Yes.
it builds a level of insecurity.
Yes.
Some men, not all, where women are becoming a lot more emancipated, successful. You have women that are in these, I mean, amazing roles in these positions, CEOs, owners, stuff like that, where you have to call a woman, ma'am, boss. That's your boss. Do you think that some men are intimidated by
Yes.
that? And
Yes, I
builds
think there
and
are
creates
some
an
men.
insecurity in them?
There are some men like that because they know what comes with it. And usually what comes with it is a penis. Shay, when a woman starts earning, as a grown woman who can take care of herself, she feel like you said the word emancipated, which it should means that I'm grown. That's what it should mean. I just hit my maturation process.
That is
when I'm grown.
diabolical.
So if a woman, she said, yo, I want to be a doctor. Did you become a doctor so you can be a better provider for your family? Or did you become a doctor so you could better provide for yourself? That's the question I always ask these women who are so emancipated. When a man, we build, it's because we want to be better providers. A lot of times when women build themselves, they become better providers for themselves. And anytime she has to take care of a man, believe you me, he hears it. And the reason why there are men that are intimidated, I do believe because they haven't reached certain levels. But there are a lot of men who will date a woman that make more money. But the woman that they will date that make more money, she tends to be more submissive in the sense of, yeah, I make more money, but I'm gonna let you still lead. And that takes a very mature woman. Because again, if economics is for the family, why are you holding over someone that you consider family? A marriage is what make y'all a family, right? If you're building a family, right, again, you would go out and have a child with this person, but you won't submit to a person that you will have a kid with, but you submitted when he took your vagina. So when we go back to reality is, the ultimate submission is when you give him sex. You submit to him then, but then you become this emancipated person after sex.
Yeah, but I don't know what that has to do with a woman being in a successful position.
Yeah,
and
because she
how
comes
does
with a
that,
mouth.
But that not all, Q.
Most
not
do, Shay.
all.
Shay,
Like,
most
you
do,
have-
Shay. I'm being fair, most do, Shay. And I'm
I think
going to
there
be
are a lot of
honest.
women out here that are big bosses that are still very much so resting in their feminine energy. Maybe at work, that's the role that they have to play. If you're a doctor, you're a
I
surgeon,
disagree,
you're a
Shay.
CEO.
I
That's
think
a
it's a good-
serious
it's a
job. It
good
doesn't
amount.
mean that you're gonna come home and you're gonna not be in that position as a wife. Like, I don't think that that's
I know.
everyone that's doing that.
I know. But I do believe that there are women that are submissive that make good money. But I do believe that is not mass majority. I think majority are definitely argumentative, combative, and feel like they are superior to a man because of their earning. The issue you have is with the finances moving up in a woman's favor, their ego is moving up in their favor. They gloat and brag about the same things as a man looking for a man, which is weird. You're looking for a man, but you gloat and brag about the same accomplishments a man would brag about because it says to her what? I can take care of a family. The issue is when a woman is gloating and bragging about what she's accomplished, but she don't have no intentions on taking care of no family, which is weird as hell. Think about that narrative. You sitting there gloating and bragging about your accomplishments. I did this, I made this, I got my money, but you do not plan on being a provider for a family. You plan on being a provider for yourself. And the reality is more so women, as they earn, they become very selfish. Selfish. Just being honest. I can sit there and name a bunch of people, bunch of men who make a lot of money, who have women that don't make a lot of money, and they take care of these women very good. But I cannot, and I say this with conviction, I cannot name a bunch of women who have men who don't make a lot of money and they make a lot of money and they clearly respect this man. I can name a bunch that don't. I can name way more that do disrespect this man than that respect this man. And it's because of their earning. They become egotistical because of their economics. And I'm like, are we a family or are we not? Because again, if my woman makes more money than me, it's more for us. What about our happiness? Okay, we're both doing 40. Okay, you make more, so what? But more than likely, I can live off my 40 hours. I can provide for my children of my 40. But I can't provide for the materialistic lifestyle that you would want. That's the major issue. That's where balance comes in. So by me taking on 60, 70%, let's say I'm taking off 70% of the bills, you're paying 30, that means you have additional 70% that you get to enjoy your life because of him. 70% that he's taking off the table for you, that means you're able to enjoy life. You said an apartment is $2,000. So on average, that means 7 and 7 is 14. That means he's paying $1,400, right? And you're paying $600, and yet and still you can't enjoy the resources that he's allowing you to keep in your pocket. So yet and still he might not be the highest earner, but he's financially, he's giving you the security that you can enjoy your life even more. Financially, where you want to go shopping, you want to do your nails, your hair, your feet, all of these things. Because I don't see a man needs monthly maintenance on all of these items, your feet, your nails, and all of these things. That's a very expensive lifestyle. A woman's maintenance is very expensive. And the only reason why I know is because of my circumstances now with being in a salon. I see some of these women that spending $600 to $800 a month on their hair. $600 to $800 a month. That is crazy. But again, that's they only feel beautified when they have that done. They don't feel good in themselves. And this
But
is
do
the
you
women that
also-
say they're secure. They're not secure.
Do you also see a lot of women or know a lot of women that don't spend that money, that work hard and they're just
Yes.
trying to be providers also for their family, and
Yes.
they're out there just setting that tone and they're investing or they're putting money away, and it's not everybody that's going to get their hair and nails done. And you get your nails done, most of the time we could go do that once a month. Like you get it done every 3 to 4 weeks. You have a little pedicure, but there's a lot of women that don't do any of that. They get up every day.
And that's
They
the
make
one we
the
need to
same
praise.
sacrifices that some men make to just
That's
make
the one we
ends
need to
meet
praise.
and make it.
That's
yeah,
the one
so
we should
let's-
praise, though.
Can we start doing that?
No, but that's the one. But that's not the majority, though. That's not the majority. And I'll be lying to myself if I create that to be the majority. I do give those women their flowers. The women that will put their family over their nails. They'll put their family over their feet being done. Right? The woman that say, you know what, I need gas in my car. I'm not going to waste this money on it. Those are the women I give praises, all praises to. And those are the women that should be calling out these foolish girls are the reason. The reason why black families don't have money is because of the fact that we don't have families. It's just what it is. Black families don't have money because of families. We don't have family. We have the worst family aesthetics in America. The worst. Black families have the worst family aesthetics in America because of a lot of us are very, very superficial, shallow, foolish, delusional. We watch social media too much. You have regular people who work regular jobs and Shay, they really believe that they need a $5,000 bag. You got to be high to think that you deserve a $5,000 bag when, let's just say hypothetically, you make $60,000 a year. You just spend almost 10% of your yearly earning on a bag. That's crazy. And we don't call us to be abnormal. And then she'll think she's too good for a man that's close to her earning. She make 40, 50,000, he makes 60,000, he ain't good enough for her. That's where the delusion is created because of social media.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, male and females, live above our means. Yeah, I think a lot of times you have women who definitely the maintenance for us is a lot more. But I see some men do it too. I see some friends, they get these cars they can't afford, but it's impressive. And I actually, 2 guys last night said the reason we do that is to impress women. That's what they told, that's what they said. That a lot of times men do a lot of these things to impress women. So I think it happens on both, you know.
But
on
what I
both
do,
ends,
what I do
too.
believe is like for me, right? When I first was younger, right? I used to get my checks and spend all my money, and then my mom would be like, "You always broke." Well, my mother did the same thing.
Right.
Same thing. She lived beyond her means. She always wasted money. She always wanted to look financially more secure than we actually were.
Right.
Right? Until I became an adult and met men, real masculine energy that taught me like, yo, bro, you're wilding with your money. That's how I learned finances, to the point where I started realizing the way my mother behaved with money was wrong. So therefore, I had to learn from another man, like, yo, you have to be secure with your finances because society is going to judge you by what you don't have. So therefore, you need to retain as much as you can, possibly so you can be looked at as a man. And the more they would tell me this, I thought, because I, just like a woman thought, I look good, right? I look good, I drive good. So guess what, I'm good. But in reality, I'm not, because I'm really living paycheck to paycheck in a sense of trying to keep up with the Joneses, but yet and still not realizing like this is a lifestyle that I've been taught. And it's been procreated throughout generations that people behave just like that.
Right.
And then now you have people who, average everyday people, who believe that they deserve the best life on earth by the means of someone else. That's crazy. Yo, just think about this, Shay. You go to a basketball game, you show your breasts and your body and pray that one of them NBA players see you. Like, you think that's regular? And you think that's not a hoe? And then we glorify this mentality. You think that going to meeting a man on a date and believing that he's supposed to go take you shopping, just meeting you, you don't think that's a hoe? You don't think the man's supposed to buy the biggest steak in a restaurant and you're going to eat a portion of it and say, I don't want the rest because you just want him to spend his money? You don't think that's a hoe? Like, this is entitled, sick mentality, and this is why our culture is losing. Because those hoes have been pushed to the forefront, and they bring in these, like I told a girl the other day, she said, Q, I'm not a hoe. I said, but y'all stand so close to hoes, man can't tell you which one is the hoe. They all stand next to each
I agree
other.
with some of the women in the chat that says that's what you guys are attracted to, because I feel like just the way you tell me, and the men will say on here, she's not being accountable, she's not listening, she's not that. I don't think like a man. I'm not a man. I can get your perspective, but as a woman, we see that too. We see that y'all saying, oh, you expecting him to buy it. Why are you taking a woman to a restaurant? I already told you about this. Some of them on the first day. Why are you taking her
Because
to a
that's what y'all
restaurant
expect in most
where
cases, Shay.
it's because that's what we want.
No, but being fair, Shay. I'm being fair. Shay, honestly, you have a guy standing in front of you right now. I'm just saying, we got a guy. He has, I'm gonna say $50,000 a year. He has a 99 2000 Honda. He has $1,000 in the bank. And he don't dress nice. Out of 10 women, how many gonna look at him? But you know, that man that you're not looking at, he has the most potential to be the most successful. He has very low limited debt. He doesn't have a crazy car note. He's very simple. That's a guy you can build a life with. But you're gonna overlook him for the guy that's in the mirror longer than you because he looks good. He's in the mirror more than you. And that's the guy you consider a man. But yet and still the guy that got greasy and is a mechanic, he get overlooked for the scammer. Not by you, but by a lot of women.
I love a greasy mechanic.
You know what I'm saying?
I sure do.
Good.
All right, so we got another scenario. It's called, one second, the provider's resentment. So A man pays all the bills, provides security, and takes care of everything financially. Over time, he starts feeling unappreciated and used. One day, his partner, she says, nobody forced you to do all of that. If someone willingly provides, do they have the right to expect appreciation in return?
Of course. If you're a provider, why wouldn't you want to be appreciated? I think that if you have a man who's going out there and creating that financial stability and that safe space for you, at bare minimum, appreciation is not something that he should demand. It should be something that's given. I wouldn't expect a man to have to ask to be appreciated if he's doing the things that he needs to do.
I agree 100% with Shay. I think that when a man or a woman is doing things for their relationship, I don't think that should go overlooked because of the fact that they continuously do it. For instance, if you're my woman and you wash my clothes and I haven't washed clothes in years because of you, I'm not going to not appreciate it because you do it. Because you don't have to do it. You choose to do it because it complements or it helps our relationship.
Right.
So therefore, I would appreciate it regardless if it's been done for a year or a day. Right? And I do believe that more so people that think like that, they're very entitled. They have an entitled mentality. And that's the issue. When entitlement is where you believe that someone has to do it. And I think that is the biggest level of narcissism, to look someone in their face who's done so much for you and say you didn't have to do it. That is disgusting, whether male or female. That is disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell some men this. There are women at times that sleep with men and they don't want to do it. And they do it because they know their man want to do it. And those women, I commend you and give you the utmost respect, because there are times I know you don't want to get intimate, but yet and still you do it because of the fact that you're like, you know what? My man is horny. I don't want to send my man out to the world every day being horny. And I commend those kind of women. Those women understand that is called compromising. And again, a healthy relationship has healthy compromises,
Agreed.
right? Where it's not always I win, you get the leftovers over from the win. And I will say that a lot of times nowadays, society has pushed men to be the leftovers over women. And I think that's crazy because our feelings are overlooked consistently. Consistently, our feelings are always overlooked, right? When a man presents us his feelings to a woman, in most cases, it's minimized because of how it's making her feel. And I'm just being fair. When I talk logical, some people don't like it because I'm talking the truth. When a man presents his feelings, it gets minimized because of how it's making her feel. And right there, you're dealing with a narcissist because she can't remove herself for a moment where she's like, damn, my man is crying out, especially when he don't do it that often. I tell the world, like, if I complain, please fix it, because I don't complain a lot. I complain when things are really bothering me. When they start bothering me, I got to say something. But I don't complain often. I will overlook 30 things to the point where the 31st thing I'm complaining about, but believe your mind, say there was 30 things I could have told you about yourself about. That's the kind of man I am. I pick and choose my battles, not because I'm soft, because I realize that peace and harmony is more than this little battle. I go for the wars. This could lead to a war. If I don't tell you about this, this is going to lead to a war, right? But those little battles, I might let them slide because I'm saying it ain't that serious. I go like that. I'm
Do
saying,
you think
but
that's just because sometimes men may just tend to be a little bit more dismissive in certain cases than women? I'm asking, do you think that there are things that a lot of times men will overlook? And for women, if we bring it up, we're told that we're nagging when it's necessarily not nagging. It's like telling someone, I keep doing this to you for 3 weeks, and you're asking me to stop,
Okay.
and I don't stop. Eventually, am I nagging you, or are you nagging when you're telling me to stop, or is it trying to get a point across to say, listen, I don't like when you do that? Do you think sometimes you guys just can be very dismissive, and that's why we end up in a lot of fights, because we're trying to get you to feel what we're saying, get where I'm coming
Okay.
from. This is what I'm asking you, and you
Okay.
got, it's not that serious for you guys. I'm asking.
and I'm going to answer it.
Honest
When you look, this is universal sounding. What's this mean?
Peace.
That's what men will value over the battle. We choose peace over a lot of our arguments.
Right.
So those two fingers, most men care about this more than they care about this. Because it's not that serious. If it's not a serious battle, I would choose peace all day over a dumb argument, especially when it's not going to make me leave you. Especially when you know it's not going to make you leave me. Those sneakers that you're complaining about in the living room, rather than you coming with an argument, that energy you're going to use on the argument, you could have picked them up. You ever thought about that? That little dumb argument that man about to make with you, don't you think that you could have fixed it with the energy that you're about to go use on her? Sometimes the battles that we choose are the wrong battles because it shows the level of maturity that that person has. When you're willing to use energy on your mate, right, you got to think, again, he said long term opposed to the moment. The moment shouldn't affect what we're trying to build. Again, because this is not a life or death situation. This is not going to end us.
Right.
So I'm going to choose the peace. And you're like, you know what? Shay might have had a long day. I told you the story of the woman that came home. She cooked, right? And the guy he came home. She was like, oh, I cooked his favorite meal. She was excited. He walked in the house a little late. She said in her mind, as soon as he walked in his door, I'm curse him out. But she said something came over, which is the Holy Spirit. She was like, the Holy Spirit said to her, calm down. Ask him how was his day. He walked in the house, and then he walked in the house. She said, how was your day? You know, he fell in her arms and started crying. And she said, what happened? She said, today was the hardest day. He said, today was the hardest day of my life. She said, boy, if I promise you, if we don't have this mortgage and these bills and I got these kids, I'll be in jail right now. He said the way his boss talked to him today, he said he was willing to throw his whole life away because of that. He said, but he thought about his wife and his kids. But a moment of how the woman felt, she said, I'm going to make him feel how I'm feeling, and would have made his day even worse. But rather than being she decided to be mature in that moment and said, let me ask him how was his day. And when he came in, he fell in her arms and started crying. Sometimes I think women don't give men that grace, but they expect us to give y'all that grace all the time. When y'all have your period, when y'all having a moment and hormonal, we supposed to give y'all that grace. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer this wholeheartedly. When are men given that same level of grace? When? When? I want to hear, a woman could say, oh, because you know we're emotional and get away with talking crazy. A woman could say, oh, I'm on my period and get away with talking crazy. When does a man get that grace? A man don't get that level of grace. We got to be able to land a plane in woods and make it land correctly. But a woman gets the nice runway to land a plane, even in anger, but a man doesn't get that same level of grace. And I'm being fair. So when I talk, some people get offended, but I'm like, you have to look at what I'm saying. Men do not get the same level of grace that women get at all. And I just keep it 1,000 because I know me. I got to always act like I have it together even when I don't have it together because of the fact that the world expects me to have it together. I got to act like I'm perfect when I know that men are not naturally perfect, but I got to still act like I'm perfect and I'm okay when I'm not okay. I got to act like that things are smooth sailing even when they're not because of the fact that society expects a man to be such, right? So therefore, again, we have to think logical. And a person that knows that, Shay, should have more empathy for a man when she knows that's a fact.
I feel like this is not a competition between men and
It's not a
women.
competition,
Because
I'm just raising awareness of men.
go through that as well. We go through a lot
Wow.
where we hold in or where we having issues and we got to keep. We go through that too. We go through that too, just like men do. It's not just y'all that go through that. And we do give y'all a lot of grace. We do give y'all a lot of grace, a lot more than some of us should. We do. I'm just saying. That's how I feel.
I agree, but I do believe that a woman standing up right now on a bus, someone will get up and remove themselves and give her a seat because she just got on the bus and came out of her house. A man could have worked 17 hours, halfway sleep. He's going to have to hold that rail and fall asleep.
Let me ask you this.
Don't brush over that. Don't brush over that, Shay. Don't brush over that. Hold on. No, I'm not yelling. I'm just saying, don't brush over that. That's a deep point. That's deep. A man working 17 hours,
Right.
holding a rail on a bus, about to fall asleep,
All right.
is not looked at as anything other than that's a man. But again, that is crazy in itself. This woman could have just walked out of her apartment, got on the bus. I'm going to let you guys sit down. But that man right now just did 18 hours, right? You know what the Bible says? I want to just say this. The Bible says a man would rather live on the roof of his house, the corner of the roof of his house, than to live in a house with a quarrelsome woman. The Bible says that. The Bible says that. Some of these men get tortured in their house verbally, man. I'm sorry to call it what it is. I say the truth. I talk to a lot of men, and I have to talk them into staying in their household, Shay. Because again, and they'll let you hear voice notes, because you know y'all like to write paragraphs. Violating him in a paragraph. You just wrote this man a novel via text, violating this man's life. Because that man said, yo, Q, I just worked 74 hours this week. I did the boiler, and I fixed up the house. I'm just tired, bro. I'm 48 years old. I'm beat, bro, and I don't see an end to what I got going on. And I keep telling him, I said, the problem is not the man and woman. The problem is the economy, how society has created people have to work 60, 70-hour work weeks just to survive. It's not men and women. It's the cost of living that's creating more turmoil. It's just what it is. What? It's disgusting. Go ahead, Shay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What?
No, you was about to say something a second ago.
No, I was asking you.
I just didn't want you to
what do
brush
you
over that
think,
hole in that rail
What
thing.
do you think? When do you think we give men the most grace?
When they doing something for you? When we doing something for you. When a man get the most grace is when he's doing something for you. That's when you're
You
at your
don't think
happiest.
a lot of times when these men step out, and someone had said it before, I wanted to touch the point, when they step out and you have women that'll stay because they want that family structure and they know they don't want that broken home that we so like to talk about. You don't think that's giving a man grace, that you know that you're a good woman? And we're not talking about the, oh, because she's argumentative. We're talking about the good women that are doing what they need to do, and that man steps out on her. You don't think that's grace? You don't think that's
Yes.
really a sacrifice for her
Yes.
to say, you know what,
Yes.
despite you doing that,
Yes.
I'm going to take you back. We're going to work on
But
this.
you know sometime though, and I want to ask you an honest question. Have you ever heard a woman, right? Two women having a discussion. Watch this. Yeah. Two women having a discussion. And I want you to answer this honestly. When a woman steps out on a man, right? You know automatically they give her a understand. Girl, I would have stepped out on him too. I understand. Right? Shay, in most cases, when a man steps out on a woman, women don't look to the backstory. They just look at the action. The logic says behind every action, there's a reaction. But people never look at the reaction to the action. All they do is talk about, oh, he's a bad man. But you ever ask yourself, like, yo, why this man cheated on me? I'm such a good woman. I'm perfect to him. Why is he cheating on me? Come on.
Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of men don't have reasons, though.
No,
Sometimes
they
some
do.
of them
Shay, you just not hearing
Some
them.
of them do.
Shay, you just not
Some of
hearing
them
them.
just go out there and do it.
Shay,
though.
there are
Come
some
on.
men that definitely do that.
You could be.
Shay, there are some men that do
Right,
that.
right. I just
There are
wanna
some men that are
acknowledge
very
some, yeah.
selfish. There are some women that are selfish that cheat too.
Agreed, of course.
It's both cases.
It's both.
I call
yeah.
them Jezebels.
Right.
Men and women. Right? They just have no sense of self-control. That's an animal. That's not human. Right? But again, in most cases, if you sit down and listen to a man's story, there are selfish men that step out. But that man could be like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I just don't feel like respected. But when I step out, she make me feel so loved. But I do love my wife. I love my girl. I love my girl to death. But I don't like the way she talked to me. I don't like how she make me feel. But this new girl, she make me feel like a king.
So why not just leave them?
Because he's in love with you. He's madly in love with you. But he's not in love with, he's in love with the thought of you, but not the actions you have. He don't love that. Because I told you before, a drunk person, a child, and an angry person tells the truth. And women usually go off the radar or off the hinges when they're upset, stating how they truly feel. And they go very low blow when they're trying to hurt your feelings. They go low. They go low. Low. Shorty got low. I just call it what it is.
I think sometimes, Q, I love you, bro, but I think sometimes you really don't hold men accountable as much as you hold women. I really do. I feel like that was the biggest crock of ish that I've ever heard. Like, at the end of the day, if I'm giving you grace and you're stepping out, like you just sat here and said, oh, it's because the attitude. No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the women that are doing their part and they still do.
Look.
It has nothing to do. That's okay. It's okay. I'm talking about those. I'm talking about those. What is the excuse then? Where's the
Shay,
accountability?
if we're sitting here talking about the men that step out because of the fact that they're selfish, and the women that step out because they're selfish, I just told you they're disgusting people. That's the accountability. They're trash. I call them less than human. They're animals. I just said that to you. Hold on. Did I just say that or not,
said
guys?
that. You said
okay.
yes, you
So
said
then
that.
when I move forward, I said, okay, but there are a lot of cases when men step out because they don't feel like they're loved the way they should be loved. A lot of times, verbal abuse is very triggering to men because a lot of us endured it. So now we have to what is normal is what I got to accept you verbally abusing me because you're upset. I got to accept the fact that if you step out, you're going to give me every spew to the reasoning why, but you can't see why. I've never heard a woman say, damn, I might have been wrong that made him step out. I've never heard him. Today I sent you a video. The woman was 51 years old. She got married twice. Twice. She said the second husband was the love of her life, right? She said she was so accountable and said, yo, you know what? I was wrong. She said, I was so wrong. I made the worst decision. You know what Shay texted me back? Good luck on her third marriage.
I was
I I said, damn.
Don't try to be cute on the podcast. You know I was just talking. You knew I was just talking mess. Like, good luck on her third marriage. LOL.
I know
like,
she did. She was joking.
I
But
literally
look
was
at
joking.
my
She
point.
did take
though.
accountability, though.
She did. And the one thing I will say is,
accountability.
most women, Shay, will never say that. They will call every dude the problem that they've been intimate with. Shay, let's say if a girl been with 10 guys, all 10 men are horrible.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys do the same thing, though, Q.
No,
like,
Shay. I'm being honest with you, Shay. Men will say,
Shay. You guys do the same thing.
Men will say with
Women
me.
step out because of verbal abuse too. I got a friend where her whole man be talking to her like she is scum of the earth. We take a lot of abuse from you guys too. We take a lot of abuse from y'all too. So what do you say? That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. You don't have to agree with me. It doesn't change the fact that I feel like a lot of women take a lot of verbal and physical abuse from men as well. That's not a lie.
Whoop
That's
they
not a
do.
lie.
You want to hear something funny?
It better be funny.
Now, I want you to Google a statistic. You know the #1 domestic violence cases is?
Let me guess. Women against men?
No,
Is
women
that-
against women. Look it up. Look it up, Shay. Look it up. It's not my opinion. Like I told you, I don't come over here to talk my opinion. I'll give you the statistics that you can backtrack and Google and search it. And the person that is mature, right? Search it, Tyler. Search it. Look up women and women married in relationships and see if they have the highest domestic violence cases. Look it up. Look it up. But again, we'll talk about black people being on social services and welfare more than every other culture. Therefore, people mostly think that most black people are on social services and welfare when there are actually more Caucasians on welfare.
Right.
But again, it's magnified. Whatever's magnified and a person don't do research on, they don't know, right? Hold on.
About 43.8% of lesbian women and 61% of bisexual women experience physical violence, stalking.
Say it again?
By an intimate partner.
Say it
in their
again.
Lifetime.
Say it
About
again.
44% of lesbian women and 61% of bisexual women experience physical violence, stalking, or rape by an intimate partner in their lifetime.
Now, can I say something about that? The issue is people go over their opinion. They don't read enough. Y'all need to start opening up that thing called Google and that thing called an encyclopedia and libraries. And these are facts that we can backtrack. Statistics are measured based on not person's feelings, but based on actual statistical data that you can search and look up. But again, when people hear these things, oh my God, he's just talking. No, because you don't know. And it's okay to say I don't know. You just learned something. You just learned something, and it's okay with that.
Right.
But
I
like
don't think
again,
I was disputing that. I wasn't
no,
disputing it at all.
somebody on the live said it's not true.
Oh.
It's true. I'm not, I don't freestyle. So, go ahead, say it again.
Domestic violence spans all demographics, but the highest lifetime rates of intimate partner violence affect specific groups, LGBTQ individuals, specifically bisexual women and transgender individuals.
So again, when you sit down and have these discussions, people get offended because they don't do research. What I'm going to suggest some people do, start opening up your social media to real factual people that aren't just talking in opinionated debates and conversations. Some people do not read. They don't learn. They go off of their lens. Shay, I'm a Tyler and Dre know I'm a statistical junkie. I study. I read like a mother. I read a lot. A lot. I'm the type of person why some people binge watching Netflix. Tyler, what I'm doing? I'm in my book. I'm in my book reading, studying, learning. So again, I don't come on here and just spew. Because I know these clips go viral and people see it. And they're going to jump in the comments. So again, I'm not going to just talk of my impulse and my feelings. But again, these are things that aren't talked about enough. They're not spoken on enough. So therefore, we would assume that this is what it is.
Right.
More men are just beating up on girls. You believe that? No, that's more reported to the person's lens. Shay, it's the same thing as the R word, right? More men get it also from a woman, but we just don't report it. The R word that ends with an E. Men don't report it. So therefore, we assume that it's not done to men. But again, we gotta get out of this box and get into reality. The expectations of a man in today's society is ridiculous. To the point that most men won't be able to ever reach those levels.
Right. Right.
It's not that he's a good or a bad man. Most men will never be able to reach those levels. We're talking about the 10% of men that will be able to reach those levels who don't want 99% of the women. And they believe that they're worthy of these kind of guys. And that's the society we have today. You have average women who get mad at being average, so therefore they think that they deserve better than average lives. And average men who accept average women.
So you feel like women are the problem? We're the problem?
I think that y'all don't hold yourself accountable enough. I think y'all don't hold yourself accountable enough. I think a lot of women are delusional.
And when you factor in the men's problem, what do you think are some of the biggest issues with men these days that you have with men or that women have with men?
I think one of the biggest issues is single parents. I think a lot of men are very feminine because they come from single mothers. I think a lot of women are very aggressive because they come from single mothers. I think more men nowadays don't have enough manly examples to be men because they don't know how to be it. And then a lot of times the women that are telling them how to be men never had a man in their life. They just spewing what they think is a man. And on top of it, the things that they're telling them that's a man, they sleep with guys that's not even like that. So you're contradicting yourself. You're telling yourself that a real man would be this, but you're sleeping with Tyrone who ain't nothing what you're telling your son to be. This is society. It's contradiction all across the board. You have a woman sitting with a son telling her son how to be a man, but your stepfather is a whole bum. He nice in 2K. And you sleeping with him. And now you telling me how to be a man? I think it's just not enough examples. So I do give a lot of men grace because there aren't a lot of examples. Would you say that most households are single mothers?
Are most households
Yes,
single
that
mothers?
look like us.
I don't-
Based on
I don't
statistics, it's
know.
proven.
Are we gonna go with yes? Is that what I'm supposed to?
No,
be saying?
that's not what you're supposed to say. Let's say what you feel.
I mean, I don't know the statistics, so
What do
I
you-
don't
what do you
know
think
if,
then?
if most black households are single mothers. I think there are a lot of single mothers.
Okay. So
I don't know
I'll
if
go
it's
with that.
most.
Tyler, Google it. What is the average household? Look it up, in my opinion. But what I'm saying is, right, I'm not blaming all women. I'm just saying the way a lot of these kids are raised, they're raised in toxic situations because the toxic is already, you know what's toxic, Tyler? Baby mother culture. What's toxic is baby daddy culture. They coming from toxic situations as we speak. This mother is not happy being a single mother. She's miserable. You don't think that's going to spew onto your children? Right? Go ahead.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, about 47% of black mothers are single mothers, which is much higher rate than the national average.
And they're at least married.
What's
And
the percentage?
47%.
47%.
And what's the marriage rate?
Basically 50.
What's the marriage rate?
So it's not majority. It's less.
Look
than,
it up more. Go into it deeper.
50 is a lot.
47%.
That's a lot. That's half of the culture.
But look up what's the name though. Look up marriage. Look at how many children are made out of wedlock. We've normalized. People, I said it the other day. People hate to get married, but they'll have a children with person that they don't want to be married to. And this is what we normalized. I think that's weird as hell. You will have a whole kid with somebody, but you don't want to marry that person.
That's true.
That's the culture.
We're definitely creating a lot of babies out here. With
Right?
No, most black families are not headed by married couples. Roughly 27 to 28% of black households are married families, but 35% are not.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, it's just what it is. We got to just call it what it is. Most people don't come from masculine. Each energy has to teach masculine energy how to be masculine. And there's not enough masculine energy spewing into these young men and these even older men and showing them how to be. I get some men that are 50, 60 years old who thank me. They're like, I want to thank you. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm humbly saying this. And I commend these men, right, Tyler? I commend them for being vulnerable enough to tell their truth. I ain't know a lot of these things. My dad was never in my life. And we just assume based on age that a person is just supposed to be. No. If a kid come from Beverly Hills, right, and his father's a doctor and his mother's a lawyer, would you expect him to be successful?
Of course.
So why we don't get the same grace to the people that come from strictly poverty? The mother's a junkie, the father was never in their life, or the mother was on social services and welfare, but we don't look at the backstory, we just look at what we see. We see a big man, so we just assume that this is a man. No, he doesn't have the tools to be a man because he never was taught it. And this is why I'm saying we have more good women than we have good men. So those good women need to hold those trash women accountable. Otherwise, we're going to get more bad women. The same way it happened. They're not mass incarcerating the women. They psychologically killing our women.
Right.
They mass incarcerated the men, and now what they're doing is they brainwashing our women with social media. They brainwashing our women with music. So they put all our men in prison for very small crimes, overcharging them. 5 grams is a junkie. A person that got 5 grams of a substance shouldn't be in jail. He need to be in a rehab, right? But again, that person to be incarcerated. Meanwhile, the girls, you know what they do? They brainwash them with foolishness. 6 figures, 8 figures, my type. Get him, girl. He got to buy you a bag. And all of this social media, killing them. Spin that. That's the issue. I'm saying? And that's what, look, someone said, where's the conscious female rappers at? I miss you and I-T-Y. Other black lady call me, who you calling her? What? Now you can call a girl that. All I got to do is say, you's a bad, and you going to love it. And you going to love it.
You ever? I saw there was a
all
video.
All you got to do is put bad in front of B and it's fire.
There was a video of, it showed a guy, he likes men. And it showed, they did a comparison. So they did like a straight guy calling a woman the B word. She flipped out.
Yeah, she flipped out.
Then the gay guy, he did it. She said, oh my God, it's just lit.
She loved it.
Why is it like that in society?
I feel like I don't know. I feel women.
Hoes taught them this.
That's a thing.
Hoes,
I don't know
Shay.
when your girlfriend say that.
Shay,
That's how
you
you
a
talk
good
to
woman,
each other.
and I expect you to stand up
You
on the
know?
forefront for the good women. I don't expect you.
Always.
I don't
I've always
expect you
gonna hold my
to
girls
lie to these girls, because on the forefront, the good women, I want y'all to stand up. And I want y'all to be honest with yourselves and know, like, girl, I ain't sleeping with Tom. You know, I ain't gonna use that word, but I'm not sleeping with all those guys.
I don't disagree with you that women have to hold each other accountable. Just the way my argument sometimes with Q, or where the defense comes, is me saying I expect the same thing from men to men. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I think more good women have to hold women accountable and
Yes.
say, listen, you're wrong. But I think the same thing for men. And I think that I always say, I don't think the battle is against each other. Sometimes I feel like we create this narrative like it's against each other. Like, if I disagree with you, I've seen sometimes in the comments after you post it with men, oh, she's being this and she's being that. Like, if you're giving your opinion to something and I don't respond the way someone likes, now I'm being delusional, that went over my head, she just want to argue, she just want to be combative. Like, why? Because I have an opinion to something that you said. That was my response. It's not about being combative. I know who I am. I don't need to come on this podcast to feel secure or to feel anything. I know exactly who I am. I am strong, I am independent, and I can take care of my damn self with no man. But I want one. I need one. I'm never going to sit up here and act like I don't need a man. I don't want a man. But I'm going to defend the fact that I don't believe all women are hoes.
I never said
don't
all.
believe that most women are hoes.
They are.
Most women have like, you know,
are,
I don't.
shit.
The ones that I'm around, I can't talk about that. I can't.
Then all the
I'm
men in the world are
only
rich
be
then,
able to
'cause all
talk
the
for the
ones I'm
women
around.
that I know are strong, independent, hard workers. I'm not going to sit here and talk about going to an NBA game to show your titties to get an NBA player. I don't know women like that. So I can't.
There's a
You
lot.
can't expect me to just say something that I don't know. What you want
But
me to do?
again, Shay,
what do you want me to do?
You come to my world a lot. None of my friends are like that, Shay. They're not the men that we talk about. But yet and still, if you make a statement about a man, I'm going to tell the truth.
Yes, I don't deny that there are women like that. I'm saying to you
But
that
if
I
it's
can
a
only
most, it's a
speak
most.
on what I know.
But you
Just
think-
like
you
said,
think there's
if
a lot of
hold
social
on one
circles like
second.
that?
Just like you said, if you're in Beverly Hills and you're a doctor and a lawyer, you have an expectation of that person to do what? Be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk. I am who I am. I'm surrounded by who I'm surrounded with. I can't talk. I'm not denying the fact that a lot of women are like that. There are some women like that. But you're not going to get me to say, you know what? Majority of women are like this.
That's
Not
on
women
you.
that I know.
But I'm going to say it. But
Not women
look,
that I know. So
yo, you go to a
just
spot.
said most women are hoes. I can't
Most
agree
women
with
are
that.
hoes.
Okay, but look, you go to a spot right now, right? And you sitting in a spot, right? There's a song that comes on. Artist by the name of Juvenile. He had a record called Back That, right?
Okay.
As soon as that come on, what are you girls, for the most part, in that club doing?
You want to back it up? What's a 403?
A
What
403 is a
does that
30.
mean? Oh.
It's a 304.
Someone said most
304
women
is
are
a 30.
403s. I was
It's
like,
three-
what is that?
304 is a 30. But look what I'm saying though.
Okay.
Now, Back That, come on.
Okay.
I'm in a spot, or I'm at a good lounge, and I'm looking around the room. All of a sudden, I was looking at the girl. I'm like, oh, she's cute, she's pretty. You know, I'm thinking about pushing up on her.
Okay.
As soon as that song come on, she just got into a box, and I'm like, you just like all these other hoes.
But Q, sometimes you know some of those.
doesn't
Sometimes it's
matter.
just a song.
It's just
like I don't think women are out there and it's like,
Shay,
oh, you're dancing that
Shay,
because you a hoe.
Shay,
Like it's just a song.
If a man twerks in a club, you automatically gonna assume he gay? If a man twerks, are you yes or no? If a man
is
twerks,
happening?
hold on, answer the
What's
question.
going
Answer
on?
the question though.
Eh,
Yes or no?
Q, you was twerking at the
Answer
club
the
the other
question.
day.
We don't do those. But if a man twerks, are you gonna assume he's gay? You know, I want to hear you, yes or no.
Yes.
So if a girl starts wilding like that, I'm assuming she's a hoe. The same way you judge him because of his behavior, I'm judging her based on her behavior.
But can I ask you something, Q? You and I are Jamaican. We come from a culture
Oh, my God.
where that's how we dance.
Here's the logic.
You ever see some of them? That's how they dance. Like, I feel like I don't be looking at my aunties and my stuff like they hoes because a song comes on
because
and they
you're
whine
not a man.
But Q, I'm just saying, our
Because you're not a
culture,
man.
you know the Jamaican culture,
Shay,
you know the music.
because
That,
you're not a
come
man.
on, we
Some men
out
don't
here
like it at
dancing,
all.
like, come on. I don't think
Go ahead.
that's a bad thing.
This one of the number one songs in the world right now. I just want to give you a.
Don't play it though, because they're gonna copyright it. Just say what it is.
Young Miami. I know who she is, but I don't know that
She said,
song.
"We're on my scamming at spend that, spend that." So she's giving her pressure to these girls.
And how many views that song got on
Spend
YouTube?
that, spend that. 3.4 million views in a month. Spend that.
Is that the same one who said that? That's not the same one that came on and said a date was. That's not Diddy's ex, right? What's
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that
is.
is.
Is
Spend
she the
that.
one? She's the one that said her.
Yes.
Somebody took her on a date and
Yes.
spent $2.5 million.
Allegedly.
Right?
Allegedly.
Okay. Not allegedly.
Allegedly. I only go with people. I don't listen. I hear what people say. One thing about social media we know is a bunch of cap and clout. One thing about me, I don't believe everything I hear or see on social media. Right? I've met Tyler. No, we've met tons of celebrities that are broke, and they're pretending they cap. But if you go look at the interviews, I just came back from the Maldives for 6 months. They be lying. No, you were broke for 6 months and you was off the radar. That's what really happened. Like, come on. You know it too. You happen to know celebrities too. It's cap. Come through in a rental car and all that, right? We know.
Oh, speaking of a man that twerks if he's gay.
I don't know. You said he is. I don't know if he is. You said
You
it.
know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Sidebar, guys. Sorry. Little distracted.
All I'm saying is when you sit down and have these discussions, a
You
lot
see
of
what
times.
somebody just said?
What?
A lot of grown women don't like Young Miami. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But this is why I
if we
said
say
those
that,
are the
we
elite
look like
women.
We're wrong for saying that.
Yo,
Like,
say, would you say
I don't
life,
know
life,
one of
life,
her
life has
songs.
levels, Shay?
I don't know one of her
Shay,
songs.
life has levels.
Right?
The same men you sit down and you say that these men are the such and such, those are the low-level men.
Right.
It's the same. It's more low-level men and more low-level women out here because they don't have enough examples on how to be greater people. This is what we see. There are horrible men and horrible women because they don't have examples. And the sad part is there are more good examples of good women than there are good men.
Yeah.
And I'm just being fair. There are way more good girls out here, I believe, than good men. By far. I'm calling it what it is. But in the same breath, I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call a duck because it quack a duck. I'm not going to dilute what I see. Most women aren't worthy of marriage. Most women definitely want the wedding, but they don't want marriage. I promise you. Because if they knew what it entails to really be married, most women will not sign up for marriage. Because reality is, marriage, it says for better, for if you really listen to the oath of marriage, Tyler, pull up the oath of marriage. Pull up the oath of marriage, right? Most people want the wedding. Since they were babies, they wanted the wedding. They didn't want the marriage. They wanted the wedding. I can't wait to walk down in my white dress. You're not a virgin. Why do you even have on a white dress?
Oh my God. What's wrong with you today? What are you
What
drinking?
does a white dress insinuate? It means you're a virgin. It means you're a virgin. Some of these girls should wear black dresses going out.
I'm dying.
Some of these dudes should wear black suits too.
Salmon.
Whoop de doo.
Some of these men need to wear black suits, and some of these girls need to wear black suits. She need to walk down the aisle with a black dress on. She's been intimate with 1,000 people. The other day, Tyler said something hilarious. He said, well, maybe we'll be in green. Like I said, people get offended because the people that get mad, it be them. They know they need a black dress.
What did Tyler say that was funny?
Yeah, Tyler. No, just read that thing I was just asking you. Read the oath of marriage. What is the pastor, bishop, whatever you want to call him, what does he read to you?
So it says, "I blank take you blank to be my wife or husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part, according to God's holy law, and this is my solemn vow."
And now reality is, no one heard none of that. You know what they heard? I can't wait to party. That's all they hear.
You want to hear a funny story? When
Right?
my friend got
18
married.
years.
When my friend got married and
Scorpio.
they were like, for richer or poorer, she was like, for richer or richer. She did
See?
not say the I swear.
There was a video when the girl said the guy said to love and to honor. She wouldn't say honor. She would not say
I saw
honor.
that.
She
saw
would
that.
not say honor.
No. Not gonna let you lie.
Submit, right? Submit?
Obey.
Obey.
She was like,
Okay, obey.
I'm not gonna obey. She
Obey.
didn't like that. She
Obey.
was like, don't take that out. Take that out.
But you want him to be willing to die for you. Wow. You want him to give everything to you, but you're not
Yeah, it
willing
was
to obey.
I saw that. I saw that.
Obey, listen, when we hear these words submission, obey, let's just get to the bottom of these terms. These terms are blown out of proportion by slave masters.
Right.
If you're meeting a man that wants you to be his slave, why are you even marrying him?
Right.
No, I'm just saying, if you feel that he's the
she was
slave
mad.
master, why are you even marrying him? When they say, when I tell you that a woman to submit to me, is the willingness to allow me to lead. Are you willing to allow me to lead? Because a woman has to be submissive in order for me to be allowed to lead.
Right.
Otherwise, we're going to keep fighting with each other. And the reality is most of them don't know how to be submissive because they've never seen submission. A lot of them come from women that had men that submitted to them. So look, you're getting advice from a woman that has a man submitting to her.
Right.
Yo, that's crazy. That is a woman that's giving you advice. She's giving you advice when you got a whole man that's submitting to you. You're his husband. Your husband.
I hear a lot
Come
of
on.
women saying, I know we all have social media, and I can't say I disagree. Do I think that finances has anything to do with submission? No. But if you're going to define submission as a woman giving you the ability to lead, I do think that there are a lot of men out here that don't deserve submission from women at all. Because if you're not showing me that you have the ability to lead, and she gotta step into her leader position, then how can she be submissive to you?
I agree. But also, when you lead, you got to understand you lead financially, too. You don't lead just vocally. You don't lead with just your mouth.
sure.
The issue is a lot of women lead with their mouth, but they don't lead with their finances. So, again, you shouldn't be complaining about paying the bulk of the bills when you're the leader of the house. I don't complain about being the leader of the house when I know the responsibility that comes with it.
You
You
I
can't
get that,
vocally
but
just have an opinion, but you don't want the
we're off
financial
topic.
responsibilities
I'm
of your
talking about,
opinions.
We're off topic because I'm talking about the women that feel as though, how can I submit to this person if he's not the submitting type?
So that means
like,
you
get what
shouldn't
I'm
be
saying?
even intimate with him.
Okay.
You
got
shouldn't
you.
even been sleeping with him. Like, that's where accountability is. When you're looking at, like, yo, you decided to get in bed with this person, and remember, in order for a man to have you intimately,
Right.
you have to submit,
Right.
right? So therefore, you submitted during sex.
Right.
So the problem that submitted during sex. And then when he got on one knee and said, will you? You said, yes. So who's the problem? It's not the man. It's the person that...
Never is.
No, it's not, because, again, Shay, a woman has 2 times to say no. One of the time is during sex. The second time is before marriage. She has 2 times to say no.
Right.
2 times to say no. Would you agree with that? First time she has the time to say no is before sex. The second time she has to say no is before marriage. And you can give her a third one. She even has the right to say no to a child. You can give a woman 3 no's. I'm just being honest. But again, there are some people, yo, what are you high? Look at this. Dre, a woman has a right to say no to her sex, right? A woman has a right to say no for a child, right? If me and you got intimate and you got pregnant, I can't make you get away the kid. You can choose it. And then the third time is I have to what? Propose to you, right? And you have a right to say what? That's 3 right there. So if you tell people that, they get mad. They get offended. Like, we just talking logical. I don't care what people on the world try to create. Truth is truth, false is false, reality is reality. A woman has 3 times to say no to a man. 3. Before sex, child, marriage. She has 3 times to say no. Come on, where's the accountability? Come on, right? And again, a man can't get sexually raw with you unless you allow it. Like, we could call him on. I'm going to be honest with you. If a man wants you bad enough, you tell him you ain't getting none without no condom, he going to put on a condom. He going to put on a condom. Come on. Come on. Like, it's just weird out here. Like, again, they get mad at me for stating the obvious because some of them, they haven't graduated past 3rd grade. You got big grown people who haven't graduated past 3rd grade. Their logic is nothing but emotion and feelings. They have no logic, no common sense. That is common sense. That's not an oh my God, an opinion, and he's stating this is not even science. This is not even like high grade college
But
level
do you
stuff.
feel like sometimes you have people that we always say you show up with your representative and she submitted to what she thought you were? Because if you're talking about just sex, like, you know, you're not really checking credit scores and doing background checks before you have sex with people. I'm not saying you should just get into bed with people, but most people,
So
you
who
know
fault
what?
is that?
Listen, can I finish? Phase we all call it, right? Because a lot of times
I agree.
Men and women wait to really show their true colors. So can you really put the blame on us if you showed up as someone that I thought you were the first 2 months, and now I'm thinking, oh my God, Q's amazing, he's wonderful. 6, 7, 8 months later, you're a whole other person. Am I wrong for having sex with you when this is what you showed me in the beginning? I'm just asking. Is that
I think both cases people show up with their representatives. Because I doubt you're gonna say as soon as you get me mad, I'm gonna curse you out. I doubt you said that. I doubt you said that. You played nice too. So don't pretend as if you didn't come with your representative too.
I'm not saying you.
I'm not saying Shay, I'm not saying you.
In the beginning,
Both
men
cases
and women. I
do
said
that.
Men. Yeah, but I said that.
Okay.
Men and women. I'm
Yes.
saying if people fall in love with what they potentially see, and what you see may not
No,
be the
I think
reality.
you fall in love with what you potentially believe could be.
What you see, what you represented to
And
me
you
is what I
created
fell
that
in
in
love
your
with.
mind. Because a lot of
You know, a lot
times,
of
I'm being
people
honest
show
with
up as
Shay,
someone that they're
there are a
not.
lot of
That's
women
not
that,
me. That's not a
Shay, you meet
delusion.
some women that be like, when we first got together, I saw this, I saw this. I said, like, so who's the problem? Who's the problem? Come on. We talking about big, grown people. Come on. And he was this, he was that. I'm saying, you been told me that.
Okay.
Let me ask you a next question. I'm going to ask you a question. So where is a woman accountable in the transaction of sex? Where's she accountable?
I wasn't disagreeing with
No,
you.
I'm
saying.
just
So
asking
asking me
first.
that question doesn't
When she
make
asked me a
sense.
question, I'm going to answer. All right,
I am answering you, but you don't get to dictate. Let me.
No, that's what you do to
say
me.
what I gotta
When I don't
say.
answer, that's what you do to me.
You are so argumentative. Why you want to argue? I'm not trying
Argumentative?
to argue. I'm saying to you that if I think we're accountable for just opening our legs, like we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So what accountability do you want us to take? I had sex with you. What? That's my accountability right there. We had
But
sex.
then in most cases,
What else
she's
should
going
we
to
be
blame the
accountable
man
for?
for her having sex with him.
Why would I blame? Why would a
Not
woman
you,
blame
Shay.
a man for having
They
sex
do it all
with
the time,
her?
Shay.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Because they're
that.
going to
How does that
lie
happen?
about most cases of who they assumed he pretended to be. Shay, it's just the truth.
Q, but I'm not
The moment
talking
you do
about-
something, you have to hold it all the way.
But what about me? It's not me assuming what I thought you were. What about when some men show up as something different?
You don't
We
think
see that
women,
all the time
we
too.
both do that.
I know we do. I'm not. That's
Shay,
we
I
all
could lay
do
in
it.
the
I'm
bed
saying
and look
that's
at a
what
woman and
we
she don't
do.
look like what I met her as.
Oh my God.
It's the truth. Most people aren't who they show they are, Shay. But again, if you give time long enough, right, you will actually see who the person is. But more people move so fast. I'm like, yo, we there. Look at this. Let me ask you a question. What is the average span from meet to sex, Shay? What do you think the time is between meeting? Not you, in general. What do you think it is from the day they meet to the day they have sex?
When should people have
No,
sex?
I'm asking you, what do you think the normal time limit is? That's the timetable is for them to meet
Y'all
each other and
gotta
have
do
sex.
30 days, man. Y'all gotta do that 30-day rule.
30
Y'all
days
should
ain't
be
nothing.
doing that
30 days ain't
at
nothing.
minimum.
Look, somebody said 3 days. Someone said 72 hours.
But
I
that's
agree.
crazy. Having
I
sex-
agree.
People
I
are
agree.
meeting people and having sex in 3 days. You said 3 hours? That's crazy. Well,
3
then
hours
you
is
get what
crazy.
you get. You don't get upset.
30 days.
Somebody laughing at 30, that's what I
90
did.
days to 6
I ain't
months.
never
I
met
agree with
nobody that
that.
had sex in a week.
I don't think 2 years, but I
Somebody
agree with
said
the 90
2
days to
years?
6
That's
months.
crazy.
I agree 90 days to 6 months.
That's a long time. A cool 30 days.
That's why they get
90
burnt.
days to 6 months, that's a long time to, you know.
Then we know that you're
but-
serious.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen if you.
Shay, I'm not gonna lie. You wait your whole life to be rich. If you wait you willing to wait for what you want.
Yeah.
If that's what I want, I'm gonna wait for it. I'm not gonna say I might not go meet somebody else. I'm just saying, but
Right. Listen, when you're adults,
I'm saying?
you listen, you decide. I ain't gonna put no time on nobody when you're.
nah, I think I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the TTs be hoes.
What's the longest? What's
The
the
TTs be
longest?
nasty
What's
these
the
days.
longest you guys and even you guys in the chat? What's
You
the
heard that
longest
shit?
have you guys ever dated somebody before you had sex? And are some men willing to wait? Because a lot of that's another
Then leave 'em
question
alone.
too. You got a lot
Leave
of
'em
men
alone.
too. I agree, but I'm saying on the part B of that, how many people are willing to wait? Where you have a woman saying to you, listen, I really like you. I just want to wait. I just want to take it slow. Some men just want it so bad that they're not willing to wait. It takes a disciplined man to say, you know what?
He's showing a lack
I'll
of
wait.
discipline. Right
But
there.
not a lot of men are that disciplined.
Then mean
though.
he's not for you. If you're gonna break your
year.
threshold, if your threshold is 90 days, and you break your 90-day rule because he can't control himself, then you're dealing with a child. You're dealing with a child. I'm saying again, it's if he really want to be with you that bad, he gonna wait.
Right.
He gonna wait. Trust me. Somebody said 3 dates. I agree. I agree. I agree.
Third
100%.
date? By the third date?
I agree. I agree. And you could do that shit. You could do the
though.
3 dates in a month.
Somebody wrote 1 week and we're doing so good. I know that's right. Good
No,
for
hey,
you.
listen, it depends on the couple. It happens, it don't happen.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will say is, most cases, people, whether male or female, all they're caring about is sex, more they caring about the future of what could be.
If you ever
In
met
the
a girl
moment.
and she gave it up to you in that same night, do you think she's ever marriage material? Or do you assume, and if she said, I've never done this before,
And
would
I'm
you
a bit,
assume
I'll be a
like,
fool to believe that.
okay,
And every girl that I've met I slept with fast has become an ex or a side chick.
okay.
If a girl don't respect herself, I don't respect her. You got to have standards for yourself. If you say to me, I'm willing to give myself to you because of the fact that you're going to leave me, then you sound desperate as hell. You know
Bottom as well. Yeah.
what I'm saying? You're desperate.
Somebody said, no, she isn't marriage material. Okay.
I agree. You're desperate because, again, you're so worried about losing a man
I agree.
that you're willing to compromise yourself. That's like you telling me I'm a God-fearing woman, I'm a Christian woman, but yet still you jump right in the bed. It's
Somebody
crazy.
said, speaking from experience, my husband and I, one day and we're 30 years strong. Congrats to you.
One day it's crazy.
They 30 years strong, though. Congrats to you.
But you can't make that the standard. Like, come on. Sister, you know that's an anomaly.
Someone said,
Everybody
why
saying it's
are
low.
women so undisciplined? I think because, why do you think, Q? I think a lot of times, Q is right, is I think sometimes women have this fear and they want to appease men, so they don't stick to their boundaries. They don't stick to their discipline. It's like you said, if I'm dating somebody and I really feel like, you know what, I want to get to know you before we have sex, then that's what I'm going to do. I think most of the times, if a man gets too, you liked him a lot and now you feel like, you know what, if I just give it to him, fine, you're just going to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel it's the fear of like losing the potential. You think he's a good man, so you want to keep him. Do you agree?
I agree to a degree. One thing I will say is there was a time where my one of the ladies I'm close with, she said to me, she never let her daughter spend a night. She never let her daughter take vacations with a man. She never let her daughter stay the night over a man's place. The reason being is she said because if you allow him to have everything that is what married people should be doing, why would he marry you? And that I agree with wholeheartedly.
That's a good one, yeah.
And I think that's the nuance. The nuance of women is like you letting your daughter spend a night at 19 years old with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But this is the nuance of
That's
parenting.
crazy.
You got people that let their kid boyfriend spend the night at the crib.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My son know better than that would never happen.
Yeah.
Never.
That's crazy.
Come on. But again, this is what we've come to because we've been taught how to be parents by hoes. We've been taught how to be humans like hoes. We've been taught by bad people how to be good people. People that celebrities have taught us how to be humans. Everybody trying to live this fake celebrity life. There was a time where celebrities were celebrities, and there was a time where regular people were regular people. Now regular people think they're celebrities. Go to a nightclub and see how it's called the main character syndrome. I could stand on my stage in my club, right, and look around the room. Everybody think they're somebody. It's disgusting. But again, it's because of social media. People are sick. They're sick. I'm like, you think you're somebody. I remember the guy said to me the other day, he said, Q, because I got 1,000 followers. I said, yeah. He said that with such conviction that you would think he's making millions of dollars. I know one guy who said he would rather 1 million followers than $1 million. You see your face?
You heard a man say
but
that?
me and you both, yeah. We 40. We thinking like that's crazy. But again, they love clout so much that money means more to clout than them. Most of them people, they have clout. They have no money. They said the average, what is that thing that OnlyFans person makes about 10 grand? No, it was $100 and some. Look it up, Dre. What is the average OnlyFans earner makes? It's low numbers. But these people are pretending to be more than what they are. A lot of them OnlyFans people are selling their bodies. A lot of those girls that you see on multiple trips are prostitutes. And the girls that are everyday women looking at that girl who's all over the gram, flying all over the place, you don't see she's with a fat, heavy-set man who breathes on her and sweats all on her, and she has to sleep with him to travel the world.
Yeah, but you gotta. I
That's
agree with
crazy.
you. I agree with you, but you gotta hold the men accountable who are doing that too.
They
Flying
something wrong with
girls
them.
out
Something
that
wrong
you
with
don't
them.
know, and you flying these women
Shay,
out.
he's heavy. He has money. He don't even like
But it
himself.
don't be, all of them don't be heavy and
No, I'm
money.
just saying.
Some of them
Go ahead, Dre.
are regular guys too.
Watch
that are
this.
out here just flying them out.
Fly guys don't do that.
So most commonly, they averagely make between $150 to $180
That's the
per month.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
Average.
Yep.
That's
And,
the average.
For the year.
And
one-
what's the percentage of OnlyFans people that make over, let's say, 15,000 a year? What percentage make over 15K a year?
This is the top 0.1% average
1%.
is 146,000.
Yes. That means you know
Per
those
month.
women that do that? They selling twat.
I'm dying.
Shit, I call it what it is. And then a person that is a regular woman who's a good woman, she see these lifestyles that these girls portray. You know those girls that act like they fitness influencers and they travel all over the place? They sell their bodies. I'm telling you, I'm own a club. I know what it is. They're whores. They sell their bodies. It's what it is. She's in Dubai. You know, they do what hoes on in Dubai? I know you heard.
What they doing?
Jay, what do they do to the girls in Dubai, though, Dre, that fly out? I know, say it on the mic. I'm going to let you say it, Kelly.
Is that the one with the poop story? That's the poop story?
I know you know what it is.
Oh.
We all know what it is.
What was it that she said?
They're porta potties. You know what they look over there? Those people are so rich, they fly our most beautiful women in to doodle on them
Yeah.
because of the fact they call them porta potties.
That's crazy.
But again, this young influential girl who's sitting there watching these girls, who's pretending, she's not telling you that she's being annihilated.
That's crazy.
She's not telling you she slept with 10 people. She's not telling you the truth.
That's crazy.
You got to degrade yourself to get these kind of lifestyles. Good.
And with the amount that I just read off, that's before taxes and expenses.
Yes. $100. That's the average OnlyFans earner. Like, this is not my statistics. One thing about me, I look these things up. I search these things. And that's why I said people need to learn what is reality and what is delusion. People are pretending, Shay. Yeah. It's not real. It's not real. It's smoke and mirrors.
Bro, flying out to get pooped on is insane. Do you know, guys, I have another story. When I was bartending, this guy, right, came up to me, white guy. He used to come in with his wife. Then he told me he finally came out. I guess he turned gay. You know, barber, hairdresser, we hear the craziest stories.
Of course.
So he comes up tall, 6'5". So I'm young at the time. I'm looking up at him, and he goes, I wanted to ask you a question. And I said, oh, sure, what's up? So I was young, much younger. I was like maybe like 21, 22. He said, I had it done by a white woman and a Spanish woman, but I've never had it done with a black woman. So I'm like, what is he about to ask me now? Because this guy is like very successful and put together. So I know he's not going to ask me nothing crazy. And he said, he pays them every Friday. Again, guys, it was a long time ago. Every Friday he likes when one of his fetishes for women to poop on him. So he wanted to inquire if it was a job that I was willing to take. For $250 every Friday, he comes to your house or you come to his place, you poop on him, and you get your $250. I think my jaw just dropped as I was looking at him, and I just shook my head like this, like, no, because I couldn't even fathom it, and then I can't poop on cue. It was just weird. I was like,
That's
what?
crazy. That is
I went home, and my boyfriend at the time was like, yo, why would you say no? That's a quick $250. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
But that's what
Real
I'm trying to
talk, that
explain
really
to you. They're not going to tell the backstories. Like, you think the girls in the strip club going to show you, they're going to show you the money they make. They're going to tell you the money, what they had to do to get the money they make. Do you think that most girls that are strippers, they selling their stuff? Of course. There are girls that don't, but majority of ones that really earn it, they definitely selling it. We're just calling it what it is. Right? Because
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why we can't have these real discussions, because a lot of people get offended. And I'm like, one thing I don't do, I don't cap for nobody. I don't care who gets offended.
Right.
Because I got to live in my truth. And the one thing is, I got a platform to be honest. This is what's going on in that world. And then the people that's mirroring or envying those people that are living that lifestyle, they're not showing you what they got to go through to live that lifestyle. They're not showing you it. Yeah. There was a video of a guy, right? He was in a room, and the girl was like showing her balcony, look at my life, look at me, look at me. And then he was like, nope, if you don't show me, I'm sending you back home right now. And he was hideous. Hideous. And I'm like, look what you got to deal with just to live this lifestyle. But and Shay, believe you me, there are more women that are willing to do that, right? I hate to say this, I'm going to be honest with you. An ugly man becomes cuter when he starts making money, Shay.
Okay, but my question
you agree
is,
with that?
what kind of men do those things though? What
They're
kind
insecure.
Of men
There's a lot
are
of people that's sick out here.
just doing that? What
Shay,
kind of
just
men?
because you have money don't mean you ain't crazy. Because there are a lot of men that make money, they don't know God. They don't got no relationship with their creator. They have no morals. They just have money. Society overvalue money that they will overlook everything other than what they do. Everything than what they do. Right? It's just what it is.
That's why.
People make so much money that people overlook everything they do. You don't think that people was overlooking R. Kelly? You don't think because of who R. Kelly was, people was overlooking him? There were things that were said about Diddy years ago. But it was overlooked because of what? His earnings. If we just talk in reality, people overvalue so much money that they will sell their morals, their principles, and their integrity as humans. And it's sad to say this, I'm seeing this more and more, Epstein too. I'm seeing this more and more with my sisters. I'm worried about them. They will sell their integrity for money. But I call it, like I said, let me say this on record. And I want you to hear this shit, I don't hate women. I hate the state that my women in because I come from a strong, very independent woman who never brought men around me unless that was her man. And that was my man, my man, my man. My mother didn't bring, I probably could name 2 guys my whole life that I see my mom with. My mom didn't bring no, I don't know who my mom was with, but she never showed me these things. That's the kind of woman I come from. Now I can make a woman meet me today within minutes. Let's say a week or 2, I'm chilling with her kid.
I agree.
I'm chilling with her whole kid. And I'm like, I might not even be here next week. Yeah. And you got me around your whole kid. This is the nuance of women because these girls that aren't like that, they're not teaching these little girls how to be women. You don't do that. You don't bring no man around your child unless y'all serious.
Agreed.
But again, this is the nuance.
Agreed.
But we don't call it out. But as a man, if I blow the whistle, I'm the problem.
No, I don't think anyone would most people shouldn't disagree with that. Bringing a man around your kids that you don't know like that is crazy for so many reasons. Like, that's wild.
The whistleblower always get the scrutiny. And I blow so many whistles that people get offended.
I actually met someone that did not want me to meet his child until he thought that we were going to be serious. And I respected him so much. I respected him so much because his thing was, I'm not going to bring every woman I date around my child
100%.
and then you're not going to be here.
100%.
And I respected it. So that, I don't know, it was definitely a turn on. I was like, okay, I could see that. I could dig that.
But I can see you doing that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
I
fact,
would never bring
but
no
look what I
man
just said to
around
you.
my
I
kid.
can see you doing that.
Yeah,
but here's the issue. The fact that you would do that, you will give every woman that level of grace. And that's where you got to say, you girls would do that.
I don't give every woman that level of grace. I think
No,
it's
but if I
crazy
say
that some
it,
do
Shay,
that.
you
Well,
get offended as if I'm calling all of them like
I
that.
don't get offended when you call women out. I get offended when you try to say most women, most women,
They
most
are.
women.
Most
I
are like
I
that
can't
shit.
speak for most women, so I could never. I tell you all the time, I could come from a place. It's not making me the standard. Take me out of it. I just cannot speak for most women and say, "Q, you're right. Most women are hoes. Most women are gold diggers. I cannot say that. And if people feel like, yo, she's being combative, she's being argumentative, she's being diabolical because she didn't, so be it. That's your opinion. I just can't agree with that.
Toya said most is true. But what I'm saying is, Shay, the ones that aren't like that, y'all should stand up and be like, I'm the SHIT. I'm the SHIT. And the men that don't live off of women, that ain't hitting on their women, that ain't verbally abusing their women, that take care of their kids, y'all should stand up and be like, I am the SHIT. Because you know this is normal. It's tons of people like this.
Yeah.
Tons. The ones that aren't like that shouldn't get offended. We should be calling out the ones that aren't like that. That's the problem. You got people that, yo, Shay, men and women are so comfortable, they will have 6 and 7 baby mothers and fathers. It's crazy. And we think that is normal. And we won't tell them, yo, this is disgusting. Because we're worried about, you know what? You're shaming people. Not shaming, you're telling the truth. I'm just willing to say what others ain't going to say about you. Because I'm not going to talk behind your back if I can't say it to your face.
I agree.
That's my problem. Ladies and gentlemen that hate me, just be mad at the fact that I won't say nothing behind your back that I won't say to your face. And if I say it on the podcast, it's because that's how I talk. I do not sugarcoat nothing. This is reality. If my man say I'm musty, I'm like, you a little tart. You a little tart. Let's do something about that. I don't care. You ask me, are you musty? Put me on your payroll, and I will lie to you all day. But you don't pay me to lie to you. There's only one man you should be lying to, and that's your father. You ain't my dad. She ain't my mom.
But you
Why am I
said
lying to
something
her?
that was so true, though, and I think I agree with you 100% with that. When you say a lot of times, a lot of women need to
you look
hold
close.
other women accountable. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like Q is right when he says a lot of times if we try to tell our girlfriends what we think is the truth, it doesn't get taken the way men and men would talk. I don't know
Yep.
how you guys talk to each other,
Diabolical.
but I feel like if we try to tell our girls, like, listen, girl, like you said, if your girlfriend have on an outfit and you say to her, I think you should wear something else.
Yep.
She's gonna get offended. She's gonna get mad. So I think sometimes it's not that you don't want to, but you just don't want to. I'm gonna get canceled soon for saying that, but it's the truth. I feel like it's not that I don't want to tell you, but now I gotta kind of sugarcoat it or coddle your feelings or pacify it a little
know why,
bit.
right?
And the way
Because
what?
enough women ain't doing it. That's
I
why.
just women don't take criticism the way men do.
Because there's not
Q.
done
They
enough,
don't.
Shay.
They don't.
Shay, if something was done a lot, believe you me, it becomes normal.
I told you about my friend the other day, guys. I have a friend, and her dating situation, to me, I didn't per se like the guy, the way he was treating her. I didn't like the fact that, she celebrated
Right.
him for birthdays and Father's Days. And when it came her time, his thing was, I don't do birthdays. I don't do this. So I said to her, you're standing on a line for 8 hours to get a man a pair of sneakers that he likes. Didn't even know that was a thing that we do anymore.
Damn.
But you're doing that for him. And then when it comes your time, now I'm not talking about the holiday and you have to get me something, but then you say that you don't celebrate me. What type of nonsense is that? So I told her,
Where my phone at?
I told her,
I want her number.
that's so silly. I told her that's not somebody that you should be with. And she got upset at me and was like, I feel like, some people should be worried about their own relationships and their own happiness and da-da-da-da. And she was just, so I just came out of it. I said, okay, so you go ahead and you spend all your money on him and let him continue to tell you that he doesn't celebrate birthdays, he doesn't celebrate Mother's Day, he doesn't celebrate this, but then you see him going on vacations with his friends, he can celebrate that.
You know
I
something?
no longer say anything.
Those kind of men are very, very strategical in their actions because they know what they're saying. And the crazy part is, a lot of men play on the emotions of a woman
Of course.
because we know that you're emotional. And the fact that she's eating that cheese, that's her fault.
Somebody say you're Jehovah's Witness. That's funny. That was a good one.
But
I
it's
just
the
think
truth.
sometimes women don't set a tone in relationships for what's acceptable and what's not. Because, like I said, if that was me, it's a hell to the dog.
Because
But
you know why,
to
right?
each his own.
But here's the narrative. You
To
have a
each his
man,
own.
you have a woman. They don't do enough work on themselves
Right.
that they accept any work that's done to them. They don't do enough work on themselves. See, you can sit here and confidently allow people to say whatever they want. It's because you've done work on it. You're still working on yourself. And then you're comfortable with being vulnerable because we've had moments on the episode and podcast. So you're comfortable with knowing I got work to do here and I got work to do here. To me, I commend you and say that's very strong of you. And I respect that extremely, right? And as a man, I sit here and some women agree with me, some people don't agree with me. Some men agree, some men don't. I don't really care. But what I do care is I'm going to speak my truth,
Yeah.
right? And I don't come on here to diss women. I don't come on here to diss men. Because my first love is a mother.
Right.
My first love and the only woman I've ever had in my life first was my mother. So I will always come in and understand the strength of a woman.
Yeah.
I know what it is, and I know who they are, and I know what they mean to a family aesthetics.
Can I ask you guys a question for all the men? Oh, I like you too, JMO. JMO, that's your name. Why do you think in a lot of cases men will take advantage of good women?
Because they take advantage of themselves. A lot of them aren't good men. See, when we talk like that, I say the women that take advantage of men are not good women,
Right.
and the men that take advantage of women, they're not good men. Reality is, with having these issues in society when fathers are not present and mothers are hurting and broken, this is the issue that we have. And there are people that are bleeding on each other because they're bleeding itself. A lot of times, just because you can't see a wound don't mean the wound doesn't exist. And a lot of times, the wounds that you don't see are the deepest wounds.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have very, very deep scars. And now I can not love myself, so how can I love you when I don't love me? So that's a harsh reality that we have to accept that's going on in today's society. There are a lot of men that don't love themselves. because they feel like they haven't reached certain financial altitudes. And there are women who don't love themselves because they don't look aesthetically pleasing to what the social media says cute. And that's the issue you having. Everyone's fighting for a space to look like and be accepted by rather than accepting themselves. Love yourself, pour into yourself, be the person that you see you are. Who cares what society say? Because that person that's for you, male or female, they're gonna be for you. And that person, they say beauty's in the eye of the
beholder.
and therefore you have to acknowledge that. The beholder will acknowledge your beauty. Everyone is not gonna see me as handsome. Every man's not gonna see you as beautiful. But I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because we're all made in what? God's image. So we're made in God's image. There's no such thing as ugly. It's only you may not be attracted to me.
Right.
And it's okay.
Right.
I don't fight the fact that you're not attracted to me, right? I'm not begging you to like me. I'm not begging you to praise me or want to be with me.
agree.
It's okay.
Oh,
One woman, she said to me,
Cheers.
she said, look, she said,
I agree with you.
it's just what it is.
100%. I
The-
agree with him.
The lady said to me, she said, Q, you can't afford me. You know what I said to her?
Wow.
I wouldn't want to afford you.
Oh my
But she said it with such conviction. I said it with conviction. She said, you can't afford me. And I said, wouldn't want to afford you. I said, you sound like a prostitute.
Oh my God. You did not say that.
I promise you I did.
You said you sound like a prostitute?
Shay, listen to that statement. You can't afford me.
Oh my God.
What does that mean, Shay? You for sale. I mean, you have a price tag on you. You're a whore.
Yeah, that's a little brazen when you.
No, it's
she
it's
said
called
that.
truth.
No, her for saying that you can't afford me. I'm saying.
Listen, they say, play with a clown, you get clown answers, right? You said some clown crap, I gave you some more clown answers. You said some foolishness, I gave you foolishness. She's a hoe. You stood in my face talking about, I can't afford you. I told you I wouldn't want to afford you because
That's crazy.
you're a whore.
That's crazy.
I like exclusive,
That's crazy.
right?
Leading
Look,
with that and
facts.
saying- Someone said
Facts.
sometimes a man sees the low self-esteem in a woman and he moves on it to his benefit.
No, let's take that
You
back.
think so?
Can we do something today? And let's both do this. And I'm going to give you this grace too. Can we both do this? Let's stop giving bums the man title, and let's give him male. And let's stop giving bum chicks the woman title. Let's give them female titles. So from now on, we have to understand that behavior makes you a man, and behavior makes you a woman. So reality is just because someone is an adult or of age, don't make them a man. And because someone is of age, don't make them a woman. Okay. So males will take advantage of women, good women. Men will honor, praise, and lift up a beautiful, healthy woman that adds value to where he's going with his life and appreciates her. A male can't because he don't know how. Just because he has a certain aesthetic look don't mean he's a man. I meet a lot of grown little boys and a lot of grown little girls. It's a lot of them. I see it all the time. I talk to dudes, I be like, bro, you are a whole little kid. I know dudes that cry about handling responsibilities. I'm like, aren't you a man?
Preach, Q.
I'm gonna give you one. There's a guy, right? And this is a true story. And I'm gonna give you his whole backstory. He works at a factory. Hates his job.
Okay.
He's not in school. He's not building anything. He has nothing going on. The one thing that he has going on for himself is attached to somebody else. He don't even take that serious. And I'm like, that one thing that can save your life, you don't even take serious. I was like, if you really think about how foolish you are, because there is no way that I have nothing really going on socially, but this one thing that I do have going on, I'm not going to take serious. His mother and father blood related. He a little slow. Because there's no way. If I'm at a dead-end job, Shay, and something is clicking for me, there's no way I'm not taking that beyond serious. You got to be slow. You have to be slow.
So let me ask you this, though, brother, because I don't know. Because when we talk during the weekend, I'm giving the same point for men in general.
Look, he on the spectrum.
And saying that
He on the
if you're
spectrum.
dissatisfied with your position in life, whether it's your career, whatever it is, and you're not working towards something better, why should someone else have to deal with that?
So you should leave it alone.
Why should you bring that into a relationship?
They
If
should
you're
leave it
not
alone.
willing to work, me and you are together, I'm only making, whatever, $50,000 a year. And
Okay.
I'm telling you every day, babe, I cannot afford these bills. I am struggling. I'm robbing Peter to make them da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Why is it that you're responsible for lighting that fire underneath me,
You're not.
making me better. Can we agree also that adults are responsible for themselves?
100%.
They're responsible for their own trauma. They're responsible how to make themselves better. I can encourage you. I can inspire you.
go to
I
a
can
seminar.
motivate you.
Let's go to a
but
seminar.
I can't.
Let's go to a seminar.
You know what I'm saying? Like just for some men, like we're not responsible for turning you into men. Like I've said,
I agree.
women want partners, not projects. We do not want. I do not work at Build-A-Bear.
I agree.
I don't want to
I
build
agree.
you. I do not want to build you. I can encourage you. I can inspire you, and I can be here to motivate you. I am not here to rock you in
I
my
agree.
arm to
I
turn you
agree.
into a man. Like if you're not a
I
full-grown
agree.
man, you should not be dating. You should not want a woman.
This is facts.
You should not want a woman.
I got to ask you a question. Can you swim?
Yes, I can swim. No,
But
I
no,
can't
no.
swim. No,
No,
I
but,
can't swim. I can't
but do you
swim.
like getting in the pool?
Right.
You like getting in the pool? When you go to the pool, right? When they call it dating, they call it the dating what?
Pool.
Dating pool. Right? We have to admit, everyone that's in that pool, if it's a public pool, you don't know their hygiene.
Right.
You don't think there's dirty people in that pool?
For sure.
I believe there's more dirty people in that pool than clean.
For sure.
Right?
Right.
That's the dating pool. There are way more dirty dating people out there than there are clean people. But you have to be mindful that when navigating in this pool, that there will be dirty people in the pool. Some people even pee in the pool. Shay, some people even pee in the pool, right? And let's go further. We go to a church. Everyone in there is not a saint.
Agreed.
Believe you me, church is a hospital. There are a lot of people who aren't diagnosed with their own sicknesses. And some people go there, right, knowing they have the sickness. Some people go there pretending as if they're not sick. Believe you me, there are some people that are receptive of being fixed, and there's some people who can't see themselves as being, they don't need to be fixed. So this is what we have to acknowledge, that everyone in the dating world, everyone in the social world, you go to your job, you don't like all your staff, right? But again, there's somebody you might, that's my girl, or that's my guy. It's just what it is. Oh, every shoe don't fit all, right? Me and you could wear a size 9, but guess what? I got a wide foot. So if it ain't a size 9 wide, we can't wear the same shoe. Because if you got a sock sneaker, my feet are chubby, so they don't fit. So we just got to understand that when dealing with humans, everyone is not the same. Everyone don't represent themselves the same. Everyone don't have the same beliefs. And then the people that do have better beliefs, we need to start standing on our beliefs and make them step their game up to the beliefs. Any man that don't represent or take care of his family, his children, he's not allowed to be around me at all. Drain him. No, I have zero tolerance for a man that don't take care of his kids. Zero tolerance for a man that don't take care of his kids. And the reason being is I come from a single mother. So that means I had an absentee father. So reality is I will never respect a man that can't take care of his children. I don't care. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I've seen circumstances where men are not always around because of their jobs or the fact that the woman in them having issues.
Right.
I've seen situations like that. That's an exceptional rule. When we talk about the men that don't take no initiative, don't care, don't pay no money, he's running from his family, he doesn't care about his children. Because I'm going to tell you something, if we're going to talk logical, the moment you have a child with somebody, technically that's your family.
Right.
Technically that's your family.
No matter what.
Because no matter what, y'all created something that you're going to be tied to for life, no matter what. So even if I can't stand my child's mother, I'm still going to respect my child's mother because of the fact that we have a child together, no matter what.
Right.
That's why I don't violate my child's mother, because you're still my child's mother. At one point, you were good for me to go all the way to give you a kid.
Right.
So guess what? It is what it is. I might have outgrown you, or we might have outgrown each other. But I'm not going to remember or forget the times that we shared. It is what it is. It is what it is. People grow. People mature. People level up. So guess what? She's not my enemy. My enemy is the fact that the devil is using her. That's the enemy. Sometimes you got to understand, we can speak on good and evil, but we can't see that the devil uses people every day. He could use a man, he could use a woman. I've had family go against me because of the devil. I've seen both sides of the coin. So, you know what I'm saying? Some people aren't as godly as you believe they are. They say that. I love God. Yeah, your actions speak it. Yeah. You ain't never told me you're a Christian or anything, but I already know. I can tell. Right? I know you go to church, but you never said, Q, I'm a Christian. Usually when we got to get that kind of conviction, they lying. Because he says you'll be judged by the fruits.
I'm a work in progress.
But this is what I get. Those are the people that I like to be around. I don't like to be around perfect Christians because they have the most flaws. Perfect Christians have the most flaws. Perfect people have the most flaws.
Can we? I have to address this because
Yeah.
he's saying a lot. Okay, preacher. Why do you think? Because I saw the comment come up like 10 times. So why do you think I'm biased? You said before that I don't hold women accountable. Shay doesn't like to hold. My name is Shay, not Shane, by the way. S-H-A-Y, not S-H-A-N-E. Why do you think I'm biased against men? And when you say I don't have any idea what men go through, what do you mean? What do you mean by I don't hold women accountable? I kind of want you to just type it out in one so I can read it and respond. Because like I said, Q is a man. I am a woman. I hold women accountable for women I know. I don't know all women. Again, guys, I'm not acting naive as if I don't know there's hoes out there, there are gold diggers out there. I just can't speak for how many there are. I don't know. So what do you want me to say? I don't know. I am being in my honest truth. Like, you know what? When Q says most women are like this, I cannot say that. I cannot agree and say, yes, that's most women, especially if I don't come from that. It's expecting me to be part of, I'm not saying I'm naive to it, but if I don't know something, I don't know something. Not acting like it doesn't happen. If I don't know it, I don't know if I can say most. I don't know those stats. I'm sorry.
I will say this because sometimes we have these discussions. I feel like you do make you the standard. I'm going to be fair and honest. I do believe that maybe you may not have the experiences that we assume that you have. So again, that's what's giving you your respect. I just assume. So my assumptions assume that you're more experienced as far as life than maybe at certain things you aren't.
Right.
And that's where I apologize because that's my assumption. I'm like, wait, she don't know this? But then my negligence is like, maybe she just don't. Right? So again, sometimes it might come across as being like you're diverting away from it, like you're deflecting. It might come across to people like that because it come across like that to me too. And I'm going to be honest. So I will say, speaking your truth, I do believe sometimes you do make you the standard because you're such a good person. And then we like good people, and I used to be the same way. I always try to see good in everything. And that's one thing I do give you grace for. You do try to see good in everything. You definitely do. You try to see good in everything. Like there's some good in that person. There's some good there. And that's the God in you. And I do respect that about you. But we got to understand where there's God, there is also the devil. And there are people that work for him too. And these people are distracting us from creating the healthy families, the healthy lives that we could create. I promise you, where there's unity, there will be wealth. Because you'll learn that money is not the wealth. The peace is ultimately the wealth. Right. And I do believe that that's why people take it that way. They take it as you just...
I totally do see what's going on. Like you said, I can't... It's like when you said, you know what, sometimes you can't hold people accountable for what they don't know. If there's something that I don't know, I just can't speak and say, this is the majority. If I didn't live it, if I didn't grow up, if I didn't experience it, if I don't see it, then I speak on it. You guys are going to say how you speaking on stuff that you don't know. I can't just go and generalize women if I don't know the majority of women and what they're doing. I can't do that. Yeah. I can't do that. Yeah. So maybe someone else should sit in this seat who will sit here and say, yup, most women are this, yup, most women are that. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to give everybody on the social media the platform. We're going to give y'all some questions. Dre going to read off some questions, guys. We're going to give y'all some questions now. We're going to let y'all answer some questions because before we get out of here today, we're going to do this every segment before we get out of here because Shay, one thing I love about Shay loves...
I love to engage with the people.
No, I'm giving you the flowers.
I like
it. And I love that about you.
I do.
Because the only thing I be telling her sometimes is triggering to you. So I like just be mindful.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's not really triggering, but I like to respond.
Nah, you get triggered. You be like, no, the heck, I'm not like that. I'm like, Shay, you don't know who that is. For all you know, that could be a great person, right? Or they could be a person projecting. We just don't know. So I read comments, but I don't grab every comment. Because some of these people I don't know. I know Dasani. I know certain people because over time of being on the social media thing, I've learned them. So I know certain people that I have personal relationships with, but I don't know everybody. So you know what I'm saying?
Injector Gigi, like you want people to talk on what they know, but then when they talk,
someone said I noticed that you don't really defend men.
Oh, I love you guys. Oh, is that Biggs? Hey, Biggs.
Yeah, we know Biggs too. What? We noticed that you don't defend men.
I defend good men. I feel like I defend good men. But if Q, do y'all hear how sometimes Q would say stuff about women? How you don't sit here and argue
but
with that?
But it's not you, though.
I don't defend.
Because it's not you.
But I talk positive about you, about Dre, about Tyler, the good men that I know.
We know that when I say these things about women.
Yeah, they're great men.
I make sure I acknowledge Let me
that's
go
what
on
I
record
mean.
and say this. This is me being honest. Shay is a hell of a person. And I'm looking you in your eyes when I say this. You're a hell of a person. I think you're dope. I think you're one thing I would have never do is share my platform with you wholeheartedly to the point where I make you come on every single week and made you a partner to the point where you in our group and everything. And you see everything that's going on because of how much I value you. Right? So reality is I don't think nothing negative of you and I don't disrespect you for having your opinion. But we going to debate. When you go to Princeton, Yale, Cornell, Harvard, all these major institutions, they have something called what? A debate team. And they have some of the hardest conversations on earth. I think this conversation is hard for the people that aren't ready to hear it, but yet and still those are the people that need to hear it. So again, sometimes, oh, this is no, it's not toxic. It's just because you ignore a problem ain't gonna fix it.
Right.
We gotta say it because somebody on this live today, guess what? They learned something new today. Somebody that's listening to this podcast, they heard something they didn't know.
Right.
I've seen somebody in the comments earlier was like, yo, I didn't know that. Most people didn't know that women are the leading cause of domestic violence. They didn't know that. But not my opinion, but this is what I see. Because again, they're not held accountable like men. They're just not. Right? If a woman go to family court, she don't show up, a man don't show up, he's held in contempt, meaning they're going to issue a warrant for his arrest.
That I thought was crazy when you said that. I
It's
didn't know
true.
that that was a thing.
It's
I
true.
didn't know that if a woman doesn't show up,
They might
she gets
just, they're
a
going to
pass,
give
and
a
man
pass.
doesn't. I didn't know that.
It's just what it is. A woman on the side of the highway, somebody might pull over and help her. A man on the side of the highway, they don't care that he just worked 90 hours. They don't care that he just drove all the way from Texas with $3 left in his account. They don't care about that. To go see his son for his graduation, they don't care about that. No one cares. As a man, you taught that no one cares. And you just have to figure it out. In every situation, you have to figure it out. I had one of my guys on a podcast going through depression. Lost a friend, lost an uncle, lost a lot. But he still had to get up every day and act like it's okay. To the point where I had to tell him, yo, pull me aside and come holler at me. And I told him, as your big bro, because that's my little brother, I understand.
Right.
And if you need my shoulder, I'm here.
Right.
It's okay. Because I know he's going through a lot, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But don't villainize yourself. Understand that we're here for each other. But when it's my turn, I need you to let me be vulnerable too. Because I'm going to have death in my family. I'm going to have issues too. I have issues with my children, all that too. So when I vent, please let me give me that place to land too. And that's what we need to do as humans, giving each other that space where if a man is being vulnerable, allow him to be.
Right.
And don't feel like you're going to use it against him in a later date. You take this mental note, right, and then hit him back. Well, she ready to go? No, she not.
Was I ready to cry?
Nah, she not ready to cry. I know when she about to cry, guys. 'Cause I go harder. I dig deeper when I know you about to cry. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
because I was drinking that whiskey that day. I was getting emotional.
Listen, but again, we need to change this. I don't think she's
I'm
a
a
feminist.
feminist?
I don't think so, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you, Feda. I don't think
not
she's
a
a feminist.
feminist.
I think she just don't want to feel like I'm only attacking women.
Yeah, sometimes
You know what I'm saying?
I try to stand up for women. I will never apologize for that. So it doesn't bother me that you have your opinion. I'm gonna have mine. I just don't want to. Maybe I don't want to admit and say most women are just awful and most women are this. I don't call me a feminist if that's the case.
Can I do something? Yo,
Toya.
look, you know what we don't do a lot, and I'm gonna do something I normally don't do. Yo, Dre, I want to tell you I'm proud of you. I love you. I think you're an amazing man, and I watch you grow up. And I'm telling you, you don't always have to be strong. It's okay. I got your back. I'm here for you. I'm your big brother. Anytime you always got somebody. I'm always gonna be here for you. And I want you to Dre been with me, guys, since I started everything I started.
Right.
I'm talking about before there was a podcast. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew I could always call Dre.
Right.
And Dre was with whatever crazy idea I had. He was with it. So what I'm saying? So I just want you to know I got your back. So when you're going through your go-through, yo, I'm here. If I could be a ear from people on I don't even know. Imagine what I'm willing to do for people I know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The other day, somebody's husband, I'm gonna say this. Somebody's husband called me the other day and said, "Yo, I want to do I want to sit down with you and me and my woman. How much is it gonna cost me?" I said, "It's free." He said, "What?" I said, "It's free." I said, "I just want to keep families together." I'm telling you, I come from it. I know what it does to us. And then you pretend like it's okay. It's not. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, it's not okay to not always be okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
And don't judge.
We don't have it all together. Yeah.
No, you cried. I don't kick you. I say, here you go. Pick yourself up, beautiful. We're going to have another
Become a lot.
episode.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it could be a lot. I feel like that day specifically, it was just hitting deep. It was hitting real deep. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't help it. I do I do sometimes just feel like one thing you said that was right. I try to really see the good in people, and I try to really. Maybe I'm living under a rock in a lot of ways because it's some things to me is just unbelievable, and it sounds crazy. But again, I don't. I love women. I love men. I just Shay wants to be part of the North. I just believe that people. I try to see good in people.
I agree.
There's just
I
something
agree.
in me that wants to just.
We talk a lot, guys.
That's
So I
just
know.
what it is.
We talk a lot.
It's the heart that I have. It's the person that I am. And maybe it's just gonna work against me. That's what it is. That happens. But I can't change.
Yo, there's
can't
never a call
change.
where Shay could just call me and we talk for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We talk for hours when we talk.
I am a Virgo.
You know what I'm saying?
I
We
am
get
a
on the phone,
Virgo.
hours.
Yeah, me
Right?
and Q talk all the
Hours.
time. And Q, listen, Q, we going at it.
She be like, you
Sometimes
busy? I'm like, not for you.
We disagreeing.
Not for you.
We was on the phone the other day for like 3 hours.
But I
We
said
were-
that. She goes, Q, are you busy? I just want to ask you something real quick. I said, Shay, I'm never too busy for you.
We were talking.
I said, what you got?
Talk if maybe.
What you got?
Q, one day can I come on the live with you and shit?
100%, preacher. Just DM me. 100%. Listen, one thing is, when me and Dre, and that's what I want y'all to understand, is this plaque, that's me, Dre, Tyler, Shay, that's all of us. Everybody added value to that. One day Shay said to me, you guys did it. I said, Shay, we did it. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. Ain't nobody bigger than the program. Whether God is Q or Shay, it doesn't matter. Everyone adds value and have a value.
I mean,
But
the
the one thing,
people-
you know what I do see with you? Is the fact that you work so hard on yourself. You do feel like when I'm dissing women, you feel like, nah, I work too hard on myself to take this level of insult.
No, I don't.
And
feel
that's
like
why
you're
some of the women, they be
insulting
taking it
me.
like I'm talking about them.
I know. Someone said before, Q has his experiences, she has her experience. They're speaking from both, and no one is really wrong. I feel like I don't think it's a personal attack on me. Again, I will repeat this for the 10th time. It's how I was raised, the women I was raised around, the friends that I have, the people that I know. When I don't see it, it's hard for me to answer and say that that's the most. I don't think it's fair. And that's what I'm saying to you. It's not something that I can do. I cannot make a statement about what I don't know. Then y'all going to call me a liar.
You got a lot of
damned
friends?
if you do and damned if you don't. I'm not a person that has a lot of friends.
And I want to go on record and say this, as I've always say, most women that don't have a lot of female friends is because they're too honest.
I don't have a lot of
Look, earlier you said that you have to not say anything to be around women. Most women, that's how they live with each other.
Yeah.
They gotta lie to each other. Most women that don't have a lot of friends is because they're honest.
Right.
The whistleblowers, especially in the female,
Yeah.
they don't have a lot of friends. They don't have a lot of friends. And the ladies that aren't like that, be comfortable being alone rather than being in a room full of fake people that's gonna talk about you as soon as you walk out. And look at how bad.
Totally.
Like, damn. Yeah, I'm telling you, as men, we've heard it all. Because we sit back, guys, on my live, let's be honest. We sit back and be like, yo, this is crazy, they fake. They are so fake with each other.
Yeah.
Yo, your girl will tell you that she can't stand a girl and go out to dinner with them.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy to us.
But you don't think some men do that too,
No.
though? Ever?
They usually
Men
a little,
don't. You don't think men hate on each other
they're,
too?
they're a little sassy.
I think mostly it's women.
They're a little sassy.
But you don't think men do that? I feel like men do
When
that.
a man could build a genuine relationship with each other. A man could fight each other, and after they fight each other, act like it never happened. A woman can't fight a woman and act like it never happened. She gonna bring it up every time she get the chance. Me and a man could get physical. Yo, bro, you going to the basketball game tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because once we move on, we move on. But that's a gift that God has given men. Women are just emotional. I mean, one time, I'll give you a story.
We love you too, preacher.
You gonna laugh at this. One day, I walk into a CVS. I seen a girl that I knew from high school. I said, what up? How you been? Mine, I ain't seen this girl in forever. I said, how you been? She said, I've been good, chilling. After I come out the store, I get in the car. I'm with my ex. She said, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean what I'm doing? She was like, you got the nerve. I said, got the nerve. What are you talking about? Me and her fought when we was in middle school.
What?
I looked at her and said, wait, say it again? She said, me and her had a fight in middle school. Remember that girl I told you we fought in middle school? And I said, respectfully, I don't remember that. Because you don't remember nothing I say. I'm like, you had a fight with somebody in middle school, and as a 30-something-year-old person, you still mad about it? Middle school is like 12 years old. I'm like, we 30-something years old. That's over 20-something years ago. I said, when I saw her, I was happy to see that somebody that I did go to school with was still alive. And they're healthy and they're okay. I said, we at an age where we're starting to lose people left and right. I said, so anytime I see somebody that I went to school with, I don't care, we had disagreements, we had problems or anything, I just want you to know that I'm happy to see you alive. Anybody that's on my live right now, Dre, give me a round of applause. If you made it past 35, 40, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, guys, give you all more praises to the God, the glorious one, because all of us done seen a lot of people lose along the journey. We've all lost people along our journeys, right? So when I saw, I was happy. 60, shout out to the 60, yo.
You want to answer?
Right? What you want to see?
What's your safe place? What makes you feel safe for the woman?
Me?
Yeah, that's
I think that I'm comfortable with myself now.
okay.
So when I speak my truth, I don't really get mad at women get mad at me, because the women that personally know me, they know that I don't hate women. They know that I'm not dissing women. But again, if I speak my truth, the women that don't know me is because they might be insecure with what I'm saying. They take it as I'm attacking them. But Shay knows I'm the type of guy that'll give a shirt off my back. And that's the kind of guy I am.
Right.
I'm genuine, I'm loyal, I'm honest. And guys, I come on here and I genuinely show myself. I don't hate women, but I hate the way we allow this behavior to be. And I will call it out more than women willing to call it out, because women are scared of the backlash they're going to get. I'm not scared of the backlash I'm going to get from women, because I have my woman. And my woman is very happy. And we're very much so in love.
Right.
And you come around my healthy family all the time. So I don't really care.
Right.
So again, I will say it because, again, I'm tired of seeing it. And a lot of times when I speak, I'm speaking from personal experience, but I'm also speaking from what I know other people are going through. Because I speak to a lot of different men. A lot. You know, and you see it very, very common. And it's not enough of it being exposed. That's not enough.
Where are the questions, guys? I want to see some.
Everybody drop their ages in the comments real quick. Drop your age. We're going to shout y'all out. Drop your name and your age real quick. We're going to shout you out. Drop your name and your age. Okay. We almost done. Drop a name and the age so we can shout y'all out real quick.
39.
Fox in the House, 39. Gerard, 50. Afro Thunder, 38.
1970.
James, J-Mo, 58. Dylan, 35. Anthony, 48. Where my ladies at? Kim, 30, 53. What up, Kim?
Angie,
Get some.
Can Shay be a co-wife too?
Uh-huh.
Not a co-wife.
Bren, 61. Adam, 60. Atticus Snow, 39. You know what I love? If you look at it, we have a very mature audience.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this. I'm happy we did
32,
this.
34, yeah.
We have a very mature audience.
36.
36, 43, 44, 58, 67, 32. I love it. And I think that, guys, what we need to start realizing is let's build each other up and
Toya's
stop,
38. Ain't Toya?
you know, hurting each other. Troy, what up, Troy? I've been catching
Agreed.
strays. We all do. You know what I'm saying? But for those who don't follow this podcast, a bullet. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't follow this podcast, please turn on the bell notification so when we go live, because I love when all of these people on here, because I feel like the conversations be so good.
Yes.
I want you guys to always, somebody's watching from
Shout out
Guyana.
to Guyana. Somebody was
Wow.
from New Zealand.
Wow.
People were coming. Oh, Wanda 70. Wow.
Wow.
Tommy 44. Woman 30.
Wow.
Okay.
Somebody, yo,
Okay.
listen, share the live, join the, make sure that you actually turn on the bell notification. If you're not following us on YouTube, go follow us on YouTube. We over almost 103,000 subscribers, guys. 103,000 subscribers. For those who don't know, we are almost at 103,000 subscribers. London, UK, on YouTube. What up? You know what I'm saying? Cool. How can a brother reach out for counsel? Shoot a DM. My Instagram is QDaboss, QDABOSS 516. I do a lot of one-on-ones. Kingston.
From Jamaica.
Selassie Aja Rastafari.
Trident.
No dirty panty.
You always are taking over the top. You always.
But look, for those who want to do a one-on-one with me or Shay, I can get you in contact with Shay. I set up our one-on-ones. QDaboss. All you got to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, QDABOSS 516. QDABOSS 516. And for those who love all my music, give a big round of applause for Boss Dre. For all those who don't know, Dre produces every single sound that you ever hear coming from Q is always Dre. It's every bit of Dre. Everything mixed, mastered by Dre. Everybody in the comments, please say, give a round of applause for Dre.
Yeah,
Give him a round of applause. You do so much for me, guys.
Jamaica.
Give it up for Dre, guys.
The Jamaican people there.
There you go, Dre. There you go, Dre. And Dre don't even like these kind of things, just so y'all know that. He don't like it. He be like, I don't want to be known. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Jay like to
very
be in the
humble.
background.
He's very humble.
But again, we work because I mind being on the forefront I'm saying applause to you, Dre. But you got anything you want to say before we get out of here today?
Nothing else I want to say, Q. We just got to work on, now that we know the problem, guys, I think we just need to start working on solutions. You know what I mean? That's it. Now that we know the problem, let's just work on solutions. I have nothing else to say.
What she want to do is tell him his Instagram.
My Instagram is Tashay, Tashay Jones,
One more time.
Tashay Jones.
Go follow Boss Dre on every social media platform. Real quick, a question. You want to read that real quick?
How do you deal with a woman who knows that she's in the wrong but just refuses to acknowledge it because she knows her family told her to work on her and now it's too late?
I think it's one or two things you could do. Either A,
Love you guys.
you can move on, or B, you can go get counseling. I think if you're not, I think the first option is counseling, because sometimes people need people that aren't so close to them to show them themselves, because sometimes the relationship might be so close that it might offend them when you're telling them certain things.
Yeah.
So again, it might feel like it's an attack. I don't know what she's been through, what she's experienced. Maybe she never been heard. Maybe every time she voiced her opinion, people never listen to her. So therefore, she's always feel like she has to defend herself. There's always a reason into why people behave the way they behave. You know, we just got to know the backstory to why. So let's always get to the why. Sometimes you might need a medical professional to diagnose the why. And therefore, I think you should go sit with this person, with a medical professional, and let them get to their why. Why are you so aggressive? Why are you always so angry? Why do you feel you need to be this way? Why do you always be so defensive? We got to get to that point. So therefore, this person can help build themselves up. Otherwise, they're not going to get better. They're going to just continue.
Because the person doesn't have social media. So
My email is Quentin Brown. No, Q the Boss Booking. Q the Boss, QDABOSS Booking @gmail.com. QDABOSS Booking @gmail.com. My guy got all my emails, so he catch all those things. QTheBossBooking @gmail.com. QTheBossBooking @gmail.com. Right? Yes, QTheBossBooking @gmail.com.
nice.
Right?
Okay.
But guys, for those who support the podcast, let's give them a round of applause.
We love you guys. Truly. It's like we're a little family, y'all.
100%.
We're family. I love
100%.
it. I love
Listen,
it.
we both get attacked. You know what I'm saying? But again, we here to help. We're not here to hurt. And believe you me, the goal is not to try to create toxic environments. Right? But I'm going to say something before I get out of here today. The goal is to get past overvaluing money. The goal is to get to the point where we value each other more than money. Our grandparents loved each other just because of who they were. That's why they had healthy, long-term, tenured marriages. We got to the point where we value people over economics, to the point where we don't value each other. And until we get back to genuine love, we'll keep creating toxic love. The moral of the story today is life shouldn't be all about the Benjamins. Life should be about people that genuinely love each other, that value each other, that respect each other, and that want to grow with each other. Because one thing about life, guys, you might not find your Mr. and Mrs. Right, but you'll find your Mr. and Mrs. that want to be with you forever. And that's the healthiest thing any human can find. Finding someone that loves you no matter what and respect you and appreciate you for who you are. But sometimes if you can continue to look for what people don't have, you'll never see what they had. And that could be a heart of gold because you was fooled by something called fool's gold. Till next time, guys, don't let that go over your head.
Thank you.